Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Explore the Beyond, Scales of Destiny, episode 28. Very exciting. Today is an exciting day, as is every Scales episode, as is every Explore the Beyond stream. Let's unmute and see what kind of chaos we can interrupt.
I can't remember what the dimensions. It's got a dimension size though.
Mm-hmm.
What does?
Like a 3 foot. A bag of holding.
Bag of holding.
In terms of dimensions, I think.
I think you're thinking of a portable hole.
Always think of portable holes.
Portable hole has a 10 by 10 foot. I think a bag of holding is different.
Okay, well,
Imagine you could read the description on the bag of holding and find out.
I don't have it. Sköld has it.
Anyway, hi.
Hi.
Hello.
We'll jump straight in, and Rob can do the recap from last week.
Right.
Always like Rob's recaps.
Okay, let's see if I can remember all of the details. So, essentially, we left off after Nal went a bit crazy and started burning everything. And so we started off in the sort of the manor of the I keep forgetting the name, the Holy Lady. Whatever you want to call it.
Heavenly Lady, whatever her name
Heavenly
is.
Lady. That's it.
Jambari.
Essentially we've got Jambari. That's it. Because I always think of Jambalaya. just that ain't it. So So anyway, so we were getting a right old telling off from Jambari, and so tried to make the situation better, but it was evident that we best just leave and go on our quest. And so that's what we did. We made our way down to the docks and boarded the ship, and everything was relatively smooth to start off with. You know, we were doing our share of the chores, you know, getting on, minding our own business, and winning some games of dice. Well, some people were winning, some people were causing arguments, and Vic nearly caused a mutiny of some description. But luckily, everything was resolved, and Vic got his bet of not being told to do any chores for the rest of the trip, and yeah, so that was sort of like the general go-between, and then out of nowhere we got attacked by a giant turtle monster, by the seams of it. Anyway, a turtle dragon, I think it was. And to start off with, we were like, well, what do we do? So we went to sort of look to see where we were being attacked from, and in doing so, most of us, if not all of us, found ourselves in the water at some point, which is not where you want to be with a giant turtle dragon. So as we all struggled to get back on board in one way or another, Nal drank one of her random potions, which just so happened to turn her into a giant dragon. Was it a crystal dragon or a bronze dragon? Yeah, that's it. Bronze dragon. So, which was a surprise to everybody, because at first we thought, oh, well, great, now we've got 2 dragons that we need to deal with. But yes, luckily Nal was on our side and remained completely conscious of the situation and helped scoop us up and put us back on the boat, inflicting some minor damage as she did so. But yeah, with the help of Nal and I think it was mainly Nal that did the work that time round, if I was going to be honest. Sorry, guys. The turtle dragon then fled the scene, if you will, and we kind of got a chance to catch our breath and recover. And I think that's kind of where we are. We had a short rest, and we're now back on the on the straight and narrow, if you will, towards Kharissgard, which we can see in the distance. Hopefully there's no other surprises.
All right, that was a fairly comprehensive recap. Thank you, Rob.
Okay.
As per usual. Anyway, yes, after having a short rest and getting on with a few kind of clearing up chores, managing to just about mend the ship so that it's still in a not peak but at least somewhat usable condition. You have maybe about half a day of travel left before you reach the shore. After it takes a few hours, but there is at least a bit of respite after such a shock, I guess. 2 or 3 hours after everything settles down and you're all back on, I wouldn't say normal terms, but everything's at least on a even setting again, you find yourself looking out over the front of the ship and seeing a huge plume of smoke rising from a range of mountains that are just starting to peek over the horizon. The plume of smoke is the most evident part. Sköld, you recognize it? It's home.
You know.
And as time passes and as you get closer and closer, cities start to appear, landscapes start to appear. You're not far away now. Sorry, I was trying to work out why everything was really loud, which is why I was really stop-start then. And it's because both browsers were playing everything, all the sounds, and I was like, well, this isn't right. As you get to within maybe an hour or so away from land, Varric appears from his quarters. He's been in there for a little while, locked himself away, hasn't emerged for a while, and comes out. We're not far away now. Make preparations to land. We'll be in Lenhof in no time. And he heads up onto the upper decks.
We'll be where in no time? Did he say Landhof?
Linhof.
Lindhof. Great.
It's sort of central, the western coast. So we should be able to make wherever we need to go quite easily.
I'm not very sure how to do things on a ship. What does he need from us?
I mean, we're almost there.
Basically,
now.
just make sure we slow the ship down and get ready to park, in a sense.
Oh, we're still paused, by the way. She don't must move anywhere.
I think the word you're looking for, Josh, is dock.
You need to do some parallel
The ship
parking.
expert.
Aqua's pirate slang.
He's like, yeah, we just need to park.
I'm just so used to it, guys.
He's such a professional. The limited skeleton crew that you're now currently working with is going a bit wild, you know, making last preparations. They're pulling down some of the rigging, going down to a single sail to kind of float in gently. The strait that you've been through, the ocean you've crossed, has been relatively quiet. You haven't seen much in the way of other ships, but now you're starting to see fishing boats, huge galleons of ships that are either coming away from the island, heading off in a new direction, or going off to heading in the same direction, excuse me, as you are to come into port. It's quite overwhelming. Everything's suddenly getting a lot busier. And bearing in mind only 2 or 3 of the crew that actually travelled with you originally are left, they're having to work overtime. Aqua jumping in, kind of taking over the reins of some of the things you know how to do.
Yep.
Kind of, you know, bringing back old memories. Everyone else is kind of just stepping on each other's toes, getting in the way a little bit.
Nell is literally just either like walking around trying to stay out of everyone's way, or she's hiding downstairs.
Okay. Yeah. Everyone just kind of dismisses you to the lower decks. Sköld and Vic, are you doing anything?
I'm just gonna just quickly ask the captain a question.
Okay.
So when you get to Lindhof, are you gonna be? I guess you're gonna have to get some more crew. Are you gonna take the same route back again? That dragon turtle thing could still be there.
Oh, we're not heading back to Camblesia for a while. No, we're going to do a circuit. Stopping off in Kharissgard, then we're going down south, and we've got some business with the Haliasan to deal with.
Ah, that's where I'm from.
I can tell from the accent.
So was your report that was on the course, or do you want us to report to someone when we make land?
Oh no, the dockmaster will hear of this. Don't you worry. We have to fill out a report every time we dock.
Okay. I like how that NPC's getting dragged along on the thing.
Oh, is he
Revan, the one.
We'll just disappear him.
Like...
I was like, this one up here is still invisible, and then I didn't even remember he was there. He's not there anymore. There's so much to remember. I did remember to get rid of the bangs. So I'm impressed with myself for that one.
You sure we don't want to just shoot random cannonballs into the docks?
No.
Okay. I think that's roughly about what
Okay. So if you're going to try and stay out of the way, you'd be dismissed down to the lower decks as well, just so that they're not tripping over you.
I don't know how to get there. I'm stuck in this thing.
I guess it'd help.
Use the ladders.
I can't use the ladders. I get to the ladder and then I can't press anything. There we go.
So yeah, you all get dismissed except for Aqua, who was actually helping. Aqua, you see as you approach land, it's quite a sort of pretty desolate looking area. There's almost no tree line to look at. The ground is sort of slightly orange and brown, looking pretty dead. There's some smatterings of grass, but nothing like you're used to from Camblesia, for example, like where you've just come from, which is overwhelmed with forest and grassland. This is an entire 180 on that. The mountain range you can see in the distance. You've been here before, you know of it. This is kind of just, jogging your memory slightly, but the mountain range is very overbearing. The volcano in the middle of the island is visible pretty much from anywhere you remember from last time you were here, and it's an entire different atmosphere, an entire different vibe. The commotion on deck doesn't allow you much time to actually sit and observe it, but it catches your eye. It's very it draws your attention quite severely. Eventually, however, everything goes well. There's no drama while docking, and we move over. as you've all landed on the dock.
That zoomed out a lot. I was just like, why am I so small?
Yeah.
Well, you're a
True
dwarf.
size.
Oof, low blow.
As you walk across the gangplank, Barrick and Adam, one of the few remaining actual crew, stay behind. Start unloading their cargo, unloading the ship, and a goblin approaches you. Very small goblin, barely breaking 3 feet tall, and walks over to you. And it's wearing like this flowing robe, and it has what amounts to essentially a clipboard in its hand, and starts shouting over to Barrick in a very quick voice that you can't quite understand, and then turns and looks over at you. Are you its passengers?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, there's 4 of you. What are your names?
Yeah.
My name's Sköld.
Sköld.
Yes. Native
Alright.
of Kharissgard.
I can tell. What about the rest of you?
I'm Anelia,
Alright. Where are you from?
from the Southern Islands.
Ah, I see. What about you two? What about you,
I'm
Blue?
Aqua.
Ah, that makes sense. You're blue. Very clever. Where are you from?
Underwater.
Ah, I see. No, not about you, tall one.
Vic Valor.
Vic Valor.
Mhm.
Alright. That's a strange name. Where are you from?
The Halassian Empire.
Oh, you two together.
Well,
Different parts of the island.
journeying together for a while, yes.
Interesting. Alright, well, you have to go and register your entry in the registry. That's just over there, other side of the ship. You'll see it. Building. You have to go there, otherwise you're a criminal, alright?
Okay.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
Well, yes, it also sounds like the law. And he gives you, like, this look that you all get the impression is probably supposed to be very intimidating. It's bordering on comical. He's doing his best, though. And he does have a clipboard in his hand.
Can I insight to see if he's happy in his job, like how he...
I mean, you can try.
Just curious.
Okay. Roll an insight check. He's very hard to read. His face is kind of it seems different to the goblins you fought at the beginning of your journey, where they were all sort of slightly hairy and almost canine. This goblin seems almost the exact opposite. Very leathery, skin pulled back quite tight on his skull, thin, kind of trying to counter it by wearing very baggy clothes. Ears and nose longer than you would expect, like each coming out 7 to 8 inches, and seeming to not be able to actually hold the weight of the appendage, and seems a bit small, you can see the slight unimpressiveness of the species. And he kind of stares at you, staring at him. Off you go. That way.
After you, Sköld. You're from here. Show us around.
Yeah.
All right. And away we go.
So you have to come this way?
Yeah, this way.
Yeah, you're going this way.
Oh, am I lagging? No.
Oh my god, it's absolute carnage.
It's the lag is occurring. There we go. It's not as bad as it was last week.
This building here that you're coming up to now has a sign on top of the door saying registry, written in both Dwarfish predominantly, and then ever so small underneath in common. Sköld, you can read both, you're fine. And as you enter, you can see inside, it's a very simple room, made rather unusually, and unusually for this whole place actually. There's lots of wood everywhere. For such a poor area that, well, at least Sköld, you would know that for a poorish city, having a lot of wood is probably the most extravagant thing here. But it's all in disrepair. Like, planks are missing, some are snapped and missing chunks, and even the wood of the building itself is lacking. You know, it's looking faded and starting to feel a bit underwhelming. But it's well lit inside. There's a dwarf sat behind the counter, which actually only raises about 5 feet tall. Well, probably less actually. Dwarf sized, you know. And there's a bookcase on one side with a whole bunch of ledgers and files inside it. You can all step inside.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to go in. The ones I need registering.
And exactly, there's a table that's, you know, there with assigned with a few quills and such for people to fill out forms. There's a
Aqua goes, "Hey Vic, look, there's a 4-seat table right there."
Oh. Wow, there's benches. We could fit more than 4 on here.
There's a dwarf sat behind the counter. You know, normal stocky dwarf. Looks young for a dwarf. No hint of grey hair. Looking very kind of auburn with like really deep hints of red flowing through it. Looks like his beard's still growing out. He's mostly just got like a really thick bushy goatee with hints of fluff behind it. He's wearing a kind of elegant like wraparound robe that you know, is strung up quite nicely. It makes him look very regal. And he looks up at you as you enter. Hello? Do you need to register?
Yes, we've been told we have to register.
Well, yes, that's the law. You got to register.
Oh.
Nate, fill out these forms. And he hands out 3 forms. Kind of not ignoring Sköld, but not acknowledging him because, you know, Sköld doesn't need to register. You, Master Dwarf, friend, ally, brother, you're fine. Are these your friends?
They are indeed.
Companions?
Companions, I would say.
What is your reason for visiting Linhof?
We're on an assignment to investigate certain things. I
see. Very mysterious. All right, well...
We have to be pretty sparse with the details, I'm afraid. Otherwise, you never know who's listening.
Well, yes, quite. Well, make sure you don't miss anything out on those forms. They are very comprehensive and legally binding. And you can see they're all written in common. But in typical dwarfish fashion, they're written in very basic common. It's like a primary school level of writing.
Oh, good. I'll understand it then.
Yes.
What sort of information do they want from us?
Name, age. They want to know reason for visiting, how long you'll be visiting, if you need a visa or like a long extended stay, or other paperwork for permanent residence. They'll need to, and then there's check boxes underneath permanent residence for if you're going to need, or if you can pay, for all of the checks and stuff that will need to happen for you to gain residence.
Does it want to know our age or our birthday or birth year?
Age. They kind of go one and the same.
So what's the how long are we going to be here? We haven't really discussed.
How long is necessary? We can't. I don't think
What's the
we can
longest
really.
we can without it being a permanent situation?
There's stages. There's actually like checkboxes. Are you going to be here for between a day and a week? Less than a day tends to be reserved for like traders who sort of like Barrack, who are going to be here to unload goods, purchase some more goods, and then set sail again. And then there's sort of a week to a month to 6 months, and then 6 months plus to about a year. And then after a year, you have to start filling out, all the visas and permits and stuff for permanent stay. Each has an associated cost. If you're just staying for a day, it's free. Up to a week is 2 gold. Anything up to a month is 10 gold. And then anything up to 6 months is 10 gold plus 3 gold per week.
Does
I
it?
think,
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I think no more than a month,
Yeah.
probably less, but that would give us a good balance, I guess.
I mean, yes, but I'm wondering if it includes re-entry. So if we're leaving after 2 weeks, but we come back 6 weeks later, would we have to register again if we took the one up to 6 months?
But it was what, 10 plus 3 per week after a month, wasn't it? So it cost. We're better off doing a month and then have it go away, come back and do another month. For
Okay,
20
fair.
gold.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, up to a month. Who knows what happens? We don't know how long.
Yeah, might be
Will
days, might be a couple of weeks. But...
Yeah, up to a month is probably the safest option.
I'm just thinking, did we ever return those horses?
No, we
they're at
didn't.
that stable.
Yeah. It's not like we're not wanted in Wildenwell anyway, so.
Dear.
Well, didn't you have horses to get to Ogburg?
Yeah, exactly. And those are in the stables in Oakburg that we never returned to Wildenwell.
Right. Yet another set of horses that Yathina and her party have
Excuse me,
abandoned.
that I wasn't responsible for those horses.
Maybe we can.
That was
get
our
someone to send-
animal handling expert, Sköld.
Exactly.
I wasn't here when certain decisions were being made.
No. We made decisions all together. That's on you. That's my decision.
Same-
That's on you.
I think it was the same day when we
What?
met the room bloke, so I think you were there.
Yeah, this was before you weren't here. The horse going to the stables was actually Vic and Sköld.
Yes, but
Because
deciding to
You're both
jump on a ship.
Well, yes. You were here.
Yes.
You were here for deciding to jump on the ship. You weren't here to decide which ship to jump on.
It's
It doesn't bother
fine.
me. We don't have to pay the guy if we never go back, so it's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
we
he
might
gets
send him
2 free horses out of it. That he can rent out.
Or, eat maybe?
I'm just more worried about the person we took the horses from. As X
Again,
amount of
it's
horses.
not like Wildenwell is not on our backs anyway.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Oh well. We've got bigger problems.
We weren't strictly allowed back, so we can take it up with the Lord of Wildenwell.
Oh dear.
It's fine. Once a criminal, always a criminal, you know?
Get back to that island, got another bounty on our heads.
Fill one out for a month and give him 10 gold, I guess.
Yeah.
So I said all that from memory and then forgot. It was 1 day for free, 2 gold for up to a week, 10 gold for a month, 10 gold plus 3 per week for 6 months plus, right?
Sounds right.
But up to 6 months, sorry. Up to 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. Right. Okay. Well, it's upfront payment per person.
Damn it. Give me
and-
dice, Vic.
I've already paid, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. I guess I reluctantly hand over my payment.
And this is a binding thing. You cannot leave the island until you have, or if you leave the island before you finish up your time here, you will have to pay re-entry on returning.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you break any laws, your your payment will be doubled as a base fee, and you will be charged correspondingly. Anybody who does break laws and is incarcerated will have all of their possessions repossessed and sold on to other people. You are not allowed to buy property. You are not allowed to set down permanent roots. Any attempt to do so will require or result in incarceration.
Good.
Everyone understand?
Yep.
While you are here, Sköld is responsible for your behaviour. If any of you are misbehaving singularly, Sköld will be held responsible.
I like that.
Well,
We
looks
would
like I've got
never
to keep everything.
do anything. We would never do anything that would risk him getting into trouble. So
If you are seen in a town or city without Sköld present, you will be considered a runaway and will be incarcerated forthwith.
Wait, what?
Really?
Sköld,
What happens to people who come in here without a dwarf?
well, they have to pay more. Your permits permit you your dwarf companion, your dwarf guide, your dwarf leader.
can we just pay more so we have freedom of movement?
Do you wish to pay more?
Nope,
How
I'm
much
happy sticking by the dwarf.
How much is it?
100 gold per person for a month.
What, people
Well,
don't do
Sköld,
that.
I guess you're our babysitter.
I mean, you guys, that independence, independence from me, it means I don't have to be responsible. I mean, it's not a bad deal.
What if he commits a crime? Are we
Then
then
He will be subject.
culprits?
He will be subject to the laws of Kharissgard, and you will be expelled from the island forthwith.
This is
Sounds
okay.
fair.
Fine. Okay, yeah, fine. He's our babysitter. We take it.
Good.
Alright.
Okay.
Please don't.
He stamps your permits and hands you over. They basically look like passports, like they're little books with a stamp in, with all your personal information that he's been copying out while you were talking. And it's nothing ornate. It is just like a folded book. But he does reiterate that this is, without this you are considered invaders, so don't lose it.
Okay.
Do you want me to put them in the bag of holding?
Yeah, sure.
I want to tuck one inside my armor so I don't lose it.
Yeah, I'm keeping it on mine.
Brave.
Fine, then I keep.
Wait, where is the bag of holding?
On Sköld somewhere.
Interesting.
He's got it in his prison wallet.
Yeah, it was meant to be on me, I think.
Have you
there-
lost it somewhere?
Probably when we imported it over.
Excuse me, Aqua, you're not one to be talking about losing things. Alright?
I strategically misplaced them.
Yeah, for
Or, sell it for much less than it's worth.
there we go. I gave you a new one.
Look, there's an immovable rod in here. Oh, no, wait. It's just a regular rod.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, in reality, I sold that guy a stick. I fooled everyone.
So as you're all handed your passports, the dwarf nods and says you are now granted entry to Kharissgard. Please enjoy your stay and enjoy our wonderful island.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess.
Not that way. He points the other way, behind him.
Really?
Yep.
Like,
Get up.
customs.
Through the door, Yathina. You just stood there staring at a window. Oh,
Yeah.
how do I get out of the
Staring out.
window? Jesus.
Different cultures, you know.
That was like watching a child try to put a triangle in a circle peg hold, you know? Oh my god.
So, would all our islands be like this as well? Is it because these guys
It's
are at
it's
war,
a, it's
or
a no, it's a specific dwarf thing.
they're just very particular?
Yes, they're a bit prickly. Let's put it
They're
that way.
Like to fleece people from their money. It's like a money fleecing situation as well.
I mean, they're just maintaining law and order, you know.
Say one thing, they're definitely like me. They love their gold.
As you step out of the customs office, you're immediately hit again by the kind of cool breeze and sea spray. There are a few gulls flying around, but nothing that you've come to expect from the port in Oakberg, for example, or anywhere else you've been, really. It's bustling. There's a fair few people, mostly dwarves. A few non-dwarves. There's a gnome in the corner that's kind of fluttering around in the market, collecting things and selling the same things off to other people. The shipwrights that are building a new ship across the other side, and it's a bustling marketplace. You see Barrick finishing unloading his ship, and he comes off the deck and is coming over to sample the fruits of the labour. Yeah, it's a plan.
Do we think there's a minimum distance we're allowed to step away from you, Sköld?
And then
Or
the
is it
police will be
eyesight
like, "Oi."
range?
Yeah, I keep my
I would assume as long as we can like go to you immediately and be like, "Hey, my dwarf is over there," it should be fine, right? As long as you can vouch for us.
That's kind of the implication, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're in the same city and you can say, "Oh, my dwarf accompanier is in this tavern," they can go and say, "Oi, who's responsible for this lot?" And
We hold up.
never
a gold
seen them
coin
before in
and
my
then
life,
everyone
officer.
literally.
This has been your plan the whole time. Get us to your island, and then
I'll just
pretend
go
you
to the
don't know.
officer, but you're my dwarf that I'm following.
It's written on your passport,
Oh no.
accompanied by Sköld.
Damn, I can't get out of it.
None of us are good at forging anything, are they? Is anyone good at?
Depends what
No.
sort of forging.
I've never tried that in my life.
Forgers kits and stuff.
Inside check.
Okay. So the world is your oyster right now. You've got there's the whole city at your disposal right now. The choice is: do you want to move straight on to try and get to the volcano, or are you going to do a bit of sleuthing first?
First question: what time of day is it?
It's about mid-afternoon.
So, Sköld, is that the city you're from, or are you from a different place?
I am from a different city.
Okay. I mean,
Give me a second.
Wow.
Voltaire.
okay.
So there you go. which is more central to the island, further in, closer to the volcano.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to go immediately. Also, I think instead of traveling during the night, maybe
You're gonna have to go.
get.
You stink. Sorry. The dog was sat underneath me and he just keeps
Sorry.
farting in my nose. It's disgusting.
Maybe we just find accommodation here and have a little nosy around before we move on.
Yes, suggest we can get some supplies here. They'll be most fresh from the dock.
Yeah.
Or
So,
we can.
what you're saying is pub.
Don't think there'll be many pubs right on the dock. I have to go further in town. Even we know when it's time to drink and when it's time to be sensible.
Well, we've got a month, and we've got possibly years to get this as a mission done for our benefactor.
I would assume we would know if someone unleashes a,
Mm-hmm.
a beanbag somewhere. So
A beanbag? What?
Ah, like those sweets that you've had in. What was it? Oh, something?
Orva.
Over. Been a while.
so
It's funny you should
You know,
mention. It's funny you should mention something big happening because as soon as you say that, there is a big crash and a bang behind you. And as you turn to look, someone has dropped a box, and it fell down the side. It's no big deal. Getting chastised.
Did it break open? Was there anything interesting in that box?
You can't see, not from this angle. It fell down the side here, and everything's just being scooped back in, and the little boy who, well, not the little boy, but the deckhand who dropped it is being shouted at excessively, and is looking pretty chastised.
okay,
How about some
Yes.
fresh treats before we go on?
sure.
Right this way then. As
Oh,
I
you
say.
still- they might not serve us. So I don't know. I don't know what they're like. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be fine as long as you. As long as it's evident you're with us, not with me. Even.
I mean, from what I heard, you're at fault, so.
Yeah, so just don't steal anything.
Hello,
Looking
Bun.
at Aqua.
Not planning on stealing anything and getting caught.
Hmm.
As you walk over to the market, it's basically just like a little food market. There's more food stalls than there are equipment and such. And by sort of the baked goods stand, the gnome that you saw earlier is currently in a very heated debate with the vendor about the price of bread and some of the rolls that it wants. And it seems to be getting quite heated. The gnome is kind of... gnomes are small, okay? They're the smallest race generally. So this gnome is barely breaking like 2.5, 3 feet. But his voice is raised and is carrying, and the dwarf vendor, who is essentially towering, like almost twice the height of this poor gnome, is still looking a bit taken aback while also standing his ground. And the gnome is just literally, "What do you mean the prices have increased double? Yesterday it was 2 silver, today it's 4. Outrageous." And it's basically just going like that. All of the other vendors that at the moment are a little bit quiet, customer-wise, are kind of poking their head round to catch a glimpse.
I guess it's not a problem, guys. Just let them.
No, I'm not in. No, I'm stepping back. I'm ignoring it.
Nothing
At
to
the
see
fruit
here.
stall, are there prices listed on there, or do I have to speak to someone?
You would probably have to speak to the vendor.
That's what I was worried. I was wondering if there's going to be two different prices. Prices for dwarves and prices for everyone else. Sköld.
The vendor on the fruit stall, fruit and veg, the fresh produce stall, is a female dwarf who is probably height-wise the same height as Sköld, wearing, a utilitarian dress, designed for a day's work, and looking a bit rosy-cheeked and kind of like glancing up at you expectantly, but also around you to see what the fuss is about across the way. What can I do for you? She kind of says to your back, essentially. She's looking around you.
We've just been on a ship for a little while, and I just feel like there wasn't much fruit.
Oh yes, ships can be quite bad for that. What fruit would you like?
Do you have kind of an assortment? All the different types of. I heard that different types of fruit give different types of goodness. Maybe just a assortment enough for 4 people, maybe.
Oh, I've heard the same. Well, I'm sure you'll understand, but all of our food's imported because we can't, grow it here. So, I could give you an assortment of apples and oranges and pears and a few plums from the south. That would go for about 10 gold, 10 silver, even.
And I see some bananas there. The bananas good.
Oh, the bananas will, put you back a little bit more. They're very exotic. They're from a new place that, trade's a bit loose too,
Okay, maybe I don't have the money for those actually. That's okay. I'm not letting anyone know we've loaded the ship.
One platinum for a banana.
Okay, just 1,000 then. Oh, no. Okay. Does that seem like a good price? Does it seem like she's trying to stiff me, or?
She didn't say how many of each you get in a crate, or like a bag, or what sort of volume of anything you'd be getting. She just said
I was asking
sort.
for 4 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
The same thing applies. She didn't indicate value or volume.
It sounds good. So that'd be enough for 4 people for one little meal kind of
Oh
thing?
yeah. 1 piece each. 1 piece each.
10 silver. So 1 piece each, and we've got what 1 pear each, 1 apple each.
No. That would be a lot more than that. You've got like a pear. You've got an apple, a plum, an orange. 10 silver seems reasonable.
Can we go for 8?
You want 8 apples, 8 plums, 8 pears, and 8 oranges?
Oh, so 8 silver.
That'll take you up to about. I'll do you a deal of 70 silver.
No, I'm okay actually. I think just the original for 10 silvers was fine. I've only got a gold coin though. Is that okay?
Oh, clearly, all of your wealth has been invested in your grand equipment. And she quite happily takes the gold coin.
Heirlooms, they are heirlooms. So that's like what? How many few pieces of fruit I've got?
10 silver is a gold, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And so she takes the gold and pockets it and hands you a pear, an apple, a plum, and an orange.
Apple, plum. Okay, I got 4 pieces of fruit. Okay, whatever. It's fine. I'm not sharing with anyone now.
So what you're doing is you've just allowed yourself to be ripped off and then kept the thing you were going to share in the first place.
So realistically, I might be better off now if I don't give any away.
Sure, let's go with that.
Mm-hmm.
She stops staring around you for a moment and says, "Ah, thanks for your business. Very much appreciated."
Sorry, I also would like to buy something. Last time I was here, you had some, not you, but whoever was working the stall, had some very local cheese. And I would really like it. It was very stinky, but it tasted amazing.
all cheese is stinky after a while, you know.
Yeah, but it was, I believe it was blue cheese. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a long time since I tasted it, but I've quite literally dreamt about this cheese because it was so good with some bread.
Well, we tend to scrape the blue off the cheese, to be honest. I'll see if I can find any. And she kind of looks underneath her thing and then says, "No, we've not got any, sorry. We only have these cheeses." And basically she looks, and you look down and you've got like what looks to be like a circle of cheddar, and then a circle of slightly less mild cheddar.
Shame. They must have not make it anymore. It's been a while, I guess. Okay, thank you. And she turns around without buying anything.
I'm gonna just ask for a singular apple, just because. Yeah.
That'll be a bronze piece, please.
Oh, thank you.
I'm here. I know what's happening. I'm fine.
Hey, why you guys been wasting your money? Aqua's been enjoying the show between this gnome.
Oh,
and this dwarf.
it's getting very heated. The gnome is now pointing very angrily, and his whole body is kind of shaking. And it's basically equated to like the dwarf is just kind of starting to get very agitated, red in the face. Despite like having a very thick beard, you can see the red just like pulsing through the grey. And the gnome is now sort of said, "You just wait until my master hears about this," and then goes and storms off. And literally through this door, walks through and slams it shut. And then you can hear like raised voices inside, but voices was the wrong word, because raised voice inside. And the dwarf kind of just chuckles and says, "Whew. It's worse every day."
Oh, do you know about the cheese that I'm talking about?
I've heard of some particularly smelly cheeses. It's quite common for different places to serve their own sort of variant of whatever cheese, depending on what animals they have available.
Maybe it wasn't Lindhof. Maybe it was another city that I got the cheese from. I don't remember.
Yeah, it can be quite, how we say, they like to keep their secrets to themselves. So, you might get one type of cheese one place, but you won't find it anywhere else because it's so closely guarded.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay. The gnome that's just stormed off, Aqua, you're very aware, like you've been keeping an eye, and the gnome comes back out. The door opens, and is now accompanied by a very lithe-looking dwarf. Only given away as a dwarf because of the height, but he's very thin, and is wearing clothes that match the like body shape, kind of belted thinly, wearing trousers that don't flare like nobility in other countries do. This is sort of very tight and skinny as well, and clean shaven, which is a strange one, but long flowing hair that seems to be manicured very specifically, and comes over and just kind of starts talking quietly to the vendor. And the gnome is literally like violently shaking next to him, and then the vendor hands over a few things, and the dwarf that came out with the gnome hands over a bit of money, and then they walk off together. And you can hear the dwarf, like the gnome, squeaking almost from anger, and the dwarf is kind of like trying to calmly just be like, "Okay, it's okay, it's okay." And then they walk back inside.
Right, well, that ended shy.
Anticlimactically, I think is the word you're looking.
I went to say it and I thought, nah, I'll just change it.
I love the idea that your brain was just like, okay, this is the word I want to say. Nah, that's too difficult. I'll go for a different one.
God, I think you may have to pay for things. I'll give you money, but in this place, they seem to prefer not us
Whatever gave you that idea?
I don't know, and I just pound an apple down.
Okay, yeah, so I can be the what's the word I'm looking for? Barterer. There we go.
Hmm.
You are the butterer.
Well,
Sköld
Shall we
deals,
go
with,
and-
Sköld deals with the butts, it's true.
yeah.
Excuse me.
Shall we go and find a tavern or a place where we can at least spend the first night?
Yeah, sounds like
Yes.
a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A few hours to a night, haven't we? So-
You head down these steps here. You can see almost immediately as you step down here that there's paved roads, or at least stone roads, and you're
I
literally
will be
just
waiting
away.
for Sköld. I don't want to be arrested.
I know. And
I'm just wondering which way.
once you come away from the docks, the stonework stops. You're literally just walking into the same bit you've just been on. And then it kind of carries on for a little while, and then you see an array of buildings, not very tall. Some made of wood, some made of stone, some sort of a combination of the two. And even though the stone roads have stopped and it's turned mostly into rubble and dirt, I've just realised I didn't put you on here. I'll do that now. Hang on a minute. Here you are.
Where am I?
Haven't put you in yet.
Oh, it's because it come up saying that I had no vision. I was scared.
Because you're not there yet. You come to a sort of what would probably be, a fairly main high street in any other city, but in this fairly poor city that a couple of you have been to before, or at least know of, this is about as good as it gets. They're sort of stone and wooden buildings built to 1 or 2 stories, and it's fairly bustling. There's a few people around, but nothing like you experienced at the docks. Even it was it's a very sudden shift once you move away from the docks and the trading areas. The population diminishes dramatically, and you just end up with the locals. Immediately on your left, there's a small stable that appears to be empty, along with a blacksmith, which has a blacksmith working, hammering away. There's an apprentice that's working the forge fire, and black plumes of smoke are flying up out of the top. There's, on the right hand side, there seems to be a few vending, a few vendors again, trying to sell the wares that they just purchased from the market that morning, and then a building that you can't quite make out but seems to be a shop of some form. And then as you go along, there's a mixture of houses and official places, and at the very far end on the right hand side, you do see a much more popular building, with people coming in and out of it. It seems to be the pub or tavern. And how?
Sorry.
How?
She's left the void.
I just looked over as I saw you move, and you're just off the map all of a sudden.
Now,
Behave now. Stop breaking the realms of reality.
Oh, you just wait.
So yeah, the town is your oyster.
okay. Now, Lindhof is not as well off as some of the other
Yes.
towns, and the level of hospitality, if you will, may not be the same as what we're used to on our travels, but it will do the job. So, just pre-warning you, just in case you got used to the comfortable life in that manner.
Oh, remind me again. How long ago was it that the beanbag was stolen?
Beanbag.
She means.
I feel like she's trying to do
the
subterfuge here, and it's such a strange attempt at it.
Well, it was course, after I had left, so it hasn't been gone for no more than a couple of months now.
Okay. So chances are people would still be talking about it.
Yes, I would think people would be talking about it for many years if it hadn't been returned by then.
Yeah,
It's like if
especially
someone
since
stole your crown jewels of whatever monarch you so happen to have.
Okay.
And it's not wired knowledge. We should probably talk about this when we get to our room, maybe. But it's
Yeah.
not wired knowledge of what it actually is, no?
No. People don't rarely have even seen it in person. It's
I mean, you didn't know what it was, right?
I knew it was just a stone, and that's about it.
Yeah.
No one knows what we know about it, but yeah, people rarely even see it. It's usually so securely locked away.
Okay, yeah. I suggest we go to a tavern, have a drink, have some food, and then get a room and maybe make a plan what to do. It's getting late, or if not late, it's, getting late soon. No point traveling today. Maybe we can explore the city a little bit tomorrow. And then see where
Yeah.
we want to go.
Yeah.
Have had
maybe get
quite
some
the
more
journey,
horses.
so that's a good idea.
I was a dragon yesterday.
Today, wasn't it? This morning.
Today.
Yeah, literally this morning. Less than 8 hours ago.
That was
What?
cool.
Sköld, I guess you know where the inn is then.
Right.
I mean, you can all tell where it is. It's like literally the only building that has people regularly going in and out of it. And just for
It's quite a
reference,
big place. I think I may have lost track of it. Oh, no. Is it this guy over here?
no, it's on the very end. Keep going.
The very end.
Keep going.
Yeah.
There you go. Nell's found it.
Yep.
As you walk up to it, there's a sign out the front saying Dwarven Heart Saloon. And in a complete juxtaposition to what a Dwarven heart would normally, or at least what Dwarven heart, like Dwarven fortitude would be, it's looking very run down. Heart like barely looked after. Again, it's got a status symbol in that it's almost made out entirely of wood. But the wood is not well maintained. It's cracked. There are loose panels everywhere. It's not in good shape at all. And as you step towards it, there are people inside, and you can hear a few jaunty tunes coming from inside, and laughter and talking and all sorts. There are people sat at pretty much every table. A few people sat at the bar, talking, standing. There's what equates to a piano on the far side that someone is jingling the ivories on, if so to say. Not very well. It doesn't have like a specific like musician or bard playing today. It's just somebody.
Half the keys are missing.
Basically. The piano being made of wood as well. In typical Linhoff fashion so far, it's not in great shape. The piano's out of tune. The singing is also out of tune. It's not good.
The dwarf is made out of wood as well.
But it's such a unusual thing to have like buildings and structures made from wood in Kharissgard that people are still proud of it, and the place is doing a fairly booming business for what it is. It's just about the only like building and establishment here that is. You could see out the front that there are places to hold up your horses and feed your horses and such, but literally nobody has any. You haven't noticed a single horse as you were walking down the high street. And you walk in. It seems merry enough. Quite nice.
Oh, is Linhoff the capital city of Kharissgard?
Oh no, it's one of the smaller towns. Yeah,
Okay.
capital is, correct me if I'm wrong here, Doral.
Okay. Well, let's get a drink.
Yeah, so mosey onto the bar. What does everybody want? Because apparently
Fire
I'm...
whiskey.
She read my mind without reading my mind.
Mostly behaving ourselves.
Okay, only
More
one.
fire whiskey.
I'll
I will
take
accept
a
the
beer.
terms as long as you pay.
Yeah, fine.
Ale.
Just ale then.
Okay. 4 ales it is.
Okay.
Is the barkeeper here?
Yes, the barkeep comes over and it's a fairly tall dwarf. Stands over you, maybe by like only 2 inches, but you're a tall dwarf as it is, so this is an achievement. Comes over, fairly another stout looking dwarf, quite well built, like unkept hair that just kind of curls into a huge tangle, and his beard is just an absolute mess. This guy doesn't look after himself very well, and he kind of comes over, 4 ales, takes your order. It's literally like 4 copper, and slams the flagons down on the table for you, and just says, "Yep, enjoy. 4 ales."
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And eyes the 3 non-dwarfs suspiciously.
I give him a bright smile.
Gets you a scowl and a very suspicious look.
I smile even brighter.
We're sensitive to light.
As you or like take your first sips, apart from Sköld, who is, somewhat attuned to it, this is very strong. Like, this is the equivalent of having like 4 or 5 ales back home. So you all take a sip and immediately you're just like, ho, ho, ho. All right.
Don't need fire whiskey with this.
As you
No.
you find a table. There is one spare, like literally this one right next to you. And you settle down, and yeah, there's chatter around you, people kind of giving you looks and such, but for the most part, it's a hospitable tavern.
So, what's the plan going forward then? I suppose we can either stay here and gather some information, or we can move more central to the larger towns and cities straight away.
Is this the only port town in Kharissgard?
No, there's quite a few, considering we import most of our sort of foods and such like that. As you saw in the docks, the fruit and vegetables are all imported. There's a number of sort of port towns, so depending on who is in control of them from the clans, they have their own to ensure that there's no unsavory dealing, shall we say, going on.
Okay. So, Aqua,
Yes.
have you been here before?
This is the first time I've been here legitimately by law.
Okay. Where would this be the city that we docked on, like when all of us were on the very first ship?
No.
Okay. Okay.
When you came through previously, you stopped in Offendorf, and then went like full north to Voltaria, which is like basically the whole length of the coast, and then flew like essentially flung over to in theory Olkberg. You got waylaid and ended up elsewhere.
Okay.
We'll need to scratch up on my geography in terms of where the island is situated. As opposed to everything else, it's south of
East.
east. Okay.
So off,
Yeah,
where you are now, Linhof, is basically directly central to the whole island, and then Kirdaral, the capital, is just inland, and then there's 2 cities north, Offendor south. Voltaire, where you're from, is northeast. There's Henra, which is southeast.
More talking about like the island as a whole, where that is in the globe.
The island, so we have the main island, the one that we've been on, and this one is east of that.
Okay, cool.
And north of the southern island, of where me and Vic are from.
Got it.
Yes. That.
Well,
Let's if we have to discuss anything more, I think we should probably do it in a room. What kind of information could we find here, though?
Well, as it's quite, I wouldn't say the busiest trading port, but it at least has a fair amount of people coming through it. There may be whispers and rumours as to what's been going on. Perhaps some people have heard, where things could have ended up, whether it be the actual art itself or maybe just unusual people or unusual things in general.
I'll tell you what, though. If you want to smuggle something off the island, you're going to do it where there's not as many people and not as many people asking questions.
True.
Yeah.
But as I'm sure you've seen, we do tend to remember unfamiliar faces.
Well, if we get to where we're going and we can find some kind of lead of where they left from, we might be able to go through the records in that port.
Oh, great idea.
Let's see if they left or arrived legitimately, which in this kind of situation is probably not likely, but who knows?
Do you think they would dock at a established port, or do you think they would have some sort of makeshift area
Well,
off the path?
if people knew they weren't going to get searched, it wouldn't. I guess I don't know if it would matter too much. We didn't get searched on the way in.
True.
I mean, if it's depending how big is this item?
It's fairly sizable.
It's
I haven't seen it myself though.
Yeah, this is it. It's a case of from what you know and from what you've heard, it's not very large at all, or like not like unwieldy, but also again, nobody from the general riffraff is going to have ever seen it.
But for what is supposed to be a gem, it's meant to be quite a large one.
Oh yeah, it's a substantial gem.
Quote unquote.
Yes. And the sort of general knowledge, hence why it's the heart of Asoa, is because it's, dragon heart sized in theory, or as, the common folk would think. So, you're talking probably averaged human head sized, I guess, for a reference. Yeah. But that's kind of the in between of being unwieldy large, but also, small enough to carry around with you, I suppose.
Relatively easy to smuggle amongst other things.
Well, true.
Yeah. And it can go into a bag of holding.
Exactly, that's what I was just about to say. It's enough to sort of sneak into a bag of holding without too much problem if someone was trying that, Everybody make a perception check for me. Just as a, listening out for the talk of the tavern. Great. Wow. Right.
Wrong beer, mate.
Now, having been a little bit quieter than the others in the last few minutes, you were kind of able to hear some of the conversation, and a lot of the conversation in the tavern right now is about the heart going missing. Some people are saying that the Grimhammer clan are this is their downfall finally. this is all the catalyst that the other two clans need to start finally being able to take over and undo the grip that the Grimhammer clan have over Kharissgard. Others are saying that Kharissgard itself is going to fall because such a staple and important heirloom of the country has gone missing. Some say that it's all a hoax and that the heart never existed in the first place. And that the Grimhammers have just been using that as a excuse to, keep and gain power. And then there's a few whispers here and there of people thinking that the heart's gone missing because Asoa herself has come back to claim it. The rest of you don't hear anything of that sort. You're too busy sort of either drinking or talking.
So with the knowledge of that, what I asked Sköld earlier, how long ago it was that the heart has gone missing, which has now been a couple of months or a few months, do I pick anything up in these conversations that any new information has come to light, which is why everyone is suddenly now talking about it a lot?
It's difficult to pick that kind of information up from common conversations, like commoner conversations, because commoners only commoners knowledge comes from speculation, so they'll hear a rumor. For example, the heart of Asoa has been stolen, and all it takes is that Chinese whispering down a string of people to the heart of Asoa was destroyed, or the heart of Asoa was lost, and then all that takes is one person to kind of mishear it or want to exaggerate on it to Asoa, the eternal flame, has risen and is going to destroy the world. So it's difficult to put too much weight on the conversations of commoners because they like to exaggerate, elaborate, and embellish.
Okay, so this could literally be a matter of, or one person has brought it up again. Oh, the heart of Asoa has been. They've known it for a while, but one person brought it up, and just everyone jumped on the train again talking about it because it's such a big deal. Okay.
That's perfectly possible to have happened.
Okay. I don't tell the group anything that I heard yet, just because I don't want anyone else to pick up that we are here interested in these sort of conversations. So I just keep quiet and keep listening.
All right. Okay. For the most part, you don't pick anything else up. There are a few people that scoff at the implication that Asoa herself could be returning. But other than that, people are open to the idea of any of it, essentially.
How's the barkeeper looking? Is he looking interested in any of these conversations?
Not particularly.
Is he taking part in them?
No, he's kind of too busy, dealing with the drink orders. Because one thing you do notice is that these dwarves are buying a drink and then 3 minutes later buying a drink and 3 minutes later buying a drink. It is literally that kind of super quick turnover of drink orders. So he's kind of already got 3 or 4 drinks ready for them to come back for, He doesn't seem to be taking part. There's a few people around who are either not taking part or are probably less inclined towards encouraging the conversations. And then there's a person at the back who just seems to be keeping themselves to themselves.
Is there anyone watching us?
The person at the back by themselves.
Is watching us. Okay.
Yes. The others, these two, how convenient there are only 3 people in the bar you can see, but the 2 people at the down here are, you know, they're enjoying themselves. They're with groups, but they are the people that you are specifically noticing as less open to the idea of the extremes happening, you know.
Mhm.
They kind of acknowledge that it's a bad thing that the heart was stolen, but they're less on the train of, oh yeah, a sow is returning, or grim hammer of falling, you know. The person at the back seems a little bit sheepish, staying in the shadows despite wearing a bright orange cloak and having purple hair. Like literally that model is what you see. You also notice that the person at the back isn't a dwarf.
Yeah,
The
that was my next question.
The only other non-dwarf in the room. And
Can I make out what they are?
not from here, no.
Purple hair, orange cloak, you said?
Mm-hmm. Darker skin, less like darker than the rest of the inhabitants that aren't you, essentially, like the 4 of you, sorry. Which
humanoid looking?
I mean,
not humanoid, like human looking?
No, smaller, on the smaller side. There's just a strange look. Everyone else seems comfortable. This person has been nursing a drink and has been kind of keeping an eye out around the place. Every time someone walks through the door, every time the door opens, they kind of look over a little bit sheepishly. Every time someone slams their mug on the table, they look over that way a bit sheepishly. Someone laughing too loudly, someone sort of exclaiming something kind of seems to make them jump a little bit. They are the only person also that are by themselves at a table.
Okay. Is that a poker table next to them? Is that actually there?
It's a card game table, yeah. It's a
card game table.
You know, gambling table.
I look at the group. Hey guys, how about a game?
Of dice?
Of PUBG,
Sure.
Obviously.
Fortnite.
Or cards.
Where are you dropping, guys?
But let's do it over there. Come with me, and I nudge them, and I give all of them a meaningful look.
I think to myself, why is there a traffic cone over there?
Wow.
Let's play some games.
I'm oblivious to this person, I'm going to guess, because of the perception. So I'm not...
Well, no, like you can see them; they stand out. You haven't been paying as much attention. You're less aware of the fact that, you know, they're nursing their drink and they're the only person who hasn't been as lively as the rest of them. But you know, you're aware that they're there.
Okay, get out your dice, Vic. Let's do it.
Oh, you said you wanted to play cards.
I mean, yeah, sure, we can play cards as well, but I don't know any rules of card games.
So do I.
Any dwarf card games you know that we can play, Sköld?
Yes, but we'll need dwarven cards to play them, and I don't think I have any on me at the moment.
Well, doesn't this table come with some?
Unfortunately not. I think there's meant to be a master.
Let's buy some before we leave town, 'cause it might be required at some point. I don't know what
to play a card game.
It might assist us to have the relevant cards in the future.
Alright, one of you go to the barkeeper and buy them.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't have to sell cards, but I'm saying in the future, like, we'll play dice now. Okay, we'll play
Okay,
dice.
fine.
We know how to play dice. Yeah.
Hold on, did you give me my dice back last time? I
Maybe
don't know
not.
if I got my dice back.
Pretty sure
Think-
Sköld won them off me.
Let's make it interesting. And I put 5 silver on the table.
Oh, slow down there, partner.
That's like 2 fruit. So. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my 1 dagger on the table that I don't use.
No. Come on, Aqua.
Are you,
Real
are you,
money.
This dagger is clearly worth 5 silver.
are you playing cards or dice?
Guys,
Okay.
real money, Aqua. Come on.
What about this dagger is made of real money?
Come on.
It's melting down.
Okay, I put 5 down.
Can
Real
I-
money, Aqua.
How far is Vic away from me? Could I try and reach into his pocket to take the money out?
Not stretch arms for him.
Make a sleight of hand check. Yeah, Vic notices you put your try and sneak your hand into his pocket or his like bag with his coins in. Primarily because as you reach in, you get into the right you get into his like little sack of gold, but you start rustling because you're trying to feel for the thicker, heavier pieces of coin. And Vic, you do notice Aqua's. Firstly, you notice Aqua's hands sort of reach over. Then you feel him start rustling around, and then you hear the gold and silver and coppers start to get rustled.
By the way,
around.
I think I'm nailing this.
Yeah.
Can I put my hand into the bag and just like hold his hand? As if
That was how big's his bag?
You can't quite fit your hand in with his, but as Aqua pulls his hand out with a few coins in it, just grab hold and start, holding hands.
Is this what you wanted?
Yes, yeah, I was hoping we would end up like this, but don't tell the rest of them.
Okay. I'll need those coins back that you accidentally.
Oh,
pulled
sorry, they
out.
must have just gripped when we both held hands. My bad.
Yeah,
Here you go.
We'll keep this shush, shall we? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And recklessly take 5 silver out and put it on the table.
All right, let's go.
4 dice, was it, or 5?
4d6, remove the lowest. We'll start with Nell and we'll work Sköld, Vic, Aqua.
Okay.
Nice. That's an 8.
Yep.
I'm looking much happier about this bet now.
You're playing golf rules, so the lowest wins.
We're doing elimination, by
yeah,
the
yeah.
way. So lowest gets eliminated, then we carry on. Oh, that's
Holy shit.
that's a 16.
Home luck advantage.
Okay, Vic. All right, that's a 10. No, it's 11.
11.
Aqua.
I was about to say, what are them dice?
Okay, that's a 10.
All right.
Nell is eliminated. Sköld, Vic, Aqua.
While this is going on, I'm casting Detect Magic on the person behind us.
Detect magic.
Detect their thoughts, sorry.
Okay, I thought so. I wanted to make sure. Okay. So everyone else roll your dice.
Okay.
Surface thoughts
Same order.
are
13.
of lost friends.
12.
That's actually quite close. Okay, so we've got 14, we've got 12, and we've got 13. So Vic, you are eliminated.
At least I wasn't last.
True. Final 2, Sköld and Aqua. So yeah, surface thoughts are of lost friends and what to do next, basically. There seems to be a certain uneasiness, like you can feel an uneasiness kind of over the whole thing.
I'm digging deeper. They need to do a wisdom. Oh,
Yeah, wisdom save.
And Sköld, it's your roll.
Oh,
15.
Okay, that's a 16. Come on, Aqua, you need to beat. Oh, yeah, okay. Sköld, you win the 15 silver, I think.
Oh, thank you, everybody. That was a good game.
Nice. Next round is on you then. Again.
It's always on me.
Yeah, consider that our payment for everything we buy on this trip.
I can't. That's 3 of the best rolls I've ever seen.
I don't. Roll an insight check.
It's weird how luck works, isn't it?
They are also. Oops.
They're aware that you're doing it. I know.
Yeah.
I'll do this and then I'll get into it for you. He just seems to have like. Sköld just seems to have an energy about him now that he's back. A bit of a glow. Probably just luck.
Double or nothing, guys.
Now I'm out.
As you dig deeper, you can see almost immediately his eyes flick over to you. And you gain flashes of a group of 5. This person, you're viewing it through blah blah blah. You're viewing it from this person's perspective. You've got on your right, you have 2 humans. One decked out in full plate, one decked out in sort of lighter armor with a bow on their back. On the left, you've got a dwarf who seems to be also decked out in fairly chunky armor with like a great sword on his back, sort of swaggering. He looks very, very full of himself. And then a gnome who he is kind of tinkering or like sort of playing a little tune on a lute and kind of singing under his breath. And the 5 of them are walking towards they're in what looks to be an absolute wasteland, and the only way you can tell where you are is because you're looking at the volcano from the other side. And they appear to be approaching what looks to be a cavern or a cave that is more like a hole in the ground. And as they approach it, there seems to be a stream of lava to their right, maybe 50 or 60 feet away, and just sundered ground around them. They approach the entrance to wherever they're going, and then it flashes forwards, and they're fighting off flame. The dwarf in heavy armor that you saw swaggering previously gets swiped by this flame, and their body goes flying and they fall. And there's a scream from behind you, and then flashes forwards again, and they're in this massive opening. Really, it's difficult to tell what it is. There's a bubbling pool of lava at one end that seems to be flowing from somewhere. There's stalagmites and stalactites, and all of them seem to be made of like blackened stone. And directly in front of you there is just a huge pile of everything. Gold, silver, copper, items galore that is just left in a pile. You can like the person you're looking from looks around, and there's just smiles on everyone's face. Everyone is beaten, burned, bloodied. And then there are screams as it flashes forward again.
I pull out.
All right. The person looks at you and is now sweat. Like, you pull out of their thoughts, and you can see them staring at you, sweating, looking very nervous and shifty. You can see now that you're looking a bit closer on the right hip, there is a scimitar, that's in a scabbard. Can't make out any details, but it looks very fancy and ornate. And on
Can I see what race he is now?
halfling. He is basically all he seems to have on him is a very thick gold necklace that doesn't seem to have any other purpose than just jewelry. A ring on his finger that looks like just another gold band, and then a bag on his back. The rest of you
Yeah, go on.
don't notice any of this because you're all waiting for Sköld to return from the bar with the drinks that he's buying.
Turn to the person. Hi, I'm Nell. Do you want to play some dice?
No. No, thanks.
What's your name? Can we buy you a drink?
My name is Roken. No, I'm fine.
I was just noticing that you are sitting here by yourself, and it looks a little bit sad. I just thought I'd invite you to sit with us if you want to.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. No. No, I'm fine.
Are you waiting for someone?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. But if you need any help or something, we can help you.
Roll a charisma check. All right. Again, he just shakes his head. No, I'm fine. I don't need help. Don't need help. No.
I mean, okay. Where did you get that nice orange cloak from?
I bought it.
From where?
Shop. Not from here.
Okay. Can it do anything special? It looks very fancy. I like the color.
No, we might as well go sit over there by now. I mean, you have your conversation. We'll carry on playing dice.
You carry on playing dice. I sit over there.
He looks visibly uncomfortable by you joining him, and sort of instinctively shifts away from you. You can see that he is like he's favoring his right hand side slightly, and I don't need company. Leave me alone, please.
Look. We're here on a job, and I can see that we have a few things in common, and I point to my friends. Roken, was it?
Roken.
Okay, I still don't know how to spell that. If you want to be left alone, okay, that's fine. I just feel like you might need the company, and maybe, and I just tap my head. I have an inkling you might need help.
Why were you trying to read my mind?
It's something that I do to people that I don't know. I can't really control it. I'm so sorry.
That doesn't seem very nice.
I apologize.
My thoughts are my own. I don't need you invading my brain.
I agree. It's really hard living with this affliction and having everyone's mind constantly in my head, and I point to Aqua except his.
Roll a deception check. Okay. Good job, Yathina. Good job. Why would his mind be any different to anyone else's?
He just doesn't have that many thoughts. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I'll, again, the offer is there. If you need any help, let us know. We'll be here playing some dice for a little bit longer, having some drinks. Yeah. And I move back over to my friends. And while I do so, I sent Vic a message in his head. There's something up with him. I don't know what exactly, but there's something up with him. I'll tell you about it later.
I don't respond, but I just, she knows I got it.
All right. Okay. I misread that and thought it said massage. I was like, well, that's an interesting spell.
Send a massage to... That's mage hand, actually.
5 pounds of pressure on the back.
Yeah.
Okay. You head back over to your friends, and he sits there for a little longer while you continue to play dice, and Sköld continues to go and get drinks. Vic, roll a d12 for me.
Ooh. It's a d10. That's not what I wanted. D12.
Yep. Okay. You managed to win one of the next 4 games.
Okay.
And while you are, basking in your greatness, the halfling comes over, gives and sort of speaks to Nell, but is kind of speaking loud enough for you all to hear. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to come across as rude earlier. I've bought you a drink each in apology. I'm going to be off now.
Thank you. I didn't mean to invade your thoughts. I apologize as well.
That's all right. Just don't do that again. It's not nice. Feels weird. And I knew exactly it was you. Like, it's not exactly subtle, is it?
See, my friends are used to it, and
right.
I give them a look that I constantly read your guys' mind, right?
Oh yeah, equally annoying.
You kind of...
Where are you off to? Where are you going?
I have business to attend to.
Well, you read his mind and find out. I've had too many drinks.
I've got some business to attend to. I should be going. It's getting late anyway, and I overstayed my welcome here.
I mean, we'll still be here for a couple of days.
He turns and walks away.
Okay.
Did he bring the drinks himself, or did the bar?
No, he brought them over. He would be leaving if, there wasn't lag. So he's not there anymore.
Is there, on this sort of raised platform where we are at the gaming table, is there anyone else around?
No, this area is kind of quieting down a little bit. It's now sort of the bottom end and upstairs where there is a bit more. That's kind of going off right now.
All right. I as he leaves, and if I'm confident that he's out of earshot, or if he's left the bar or the saloon, I lean into, okay, guys. He was part of a group of friends. I don't know where his friends are. He's looking for them. And I can't convey. I've written it down, but I can't convey everything that you said to me. And I think he was in the volcano. Or in a volcano anyway. There was lava, and there was a cave, and there was a big hole in the ground. and there was a huge pile of gold and gems and magical items, and yeah,
Something
Find out
where
hoard
this
of
was.
treasure.
I don't know. I mean, assuming it was here in Kharissgard,
Actually, Scott, how many volcanoes are on this island?
Only one.
Good. Let's go. Let's head straight for it tomorrow.
okay. I don't think there's a volcano on the southern island, but I don't know. I don't know if there's one on in the northern island. I've never been to the western island, so I don't know. But you know,
Well, if it's a memory, then it doesn't necessarily mean the treasure's still there, but he will probably know where it got moved to.
I'm not necessarily worried about the treasure, but also a little bit. But there's something going on with that volcano, man.
So one of us should have followed in there.
Nah, he's on edge. I read his mind. He's right. He can tell that it was me. I didn't want to pry too much. Maybe if he realizes that we can help him, he's coming back. But for now, leave him be.
We trust these drinks. You told me in a message to to sign up with this person.
Well, I mean, I take a sip of my drink. I don't think they're foul. I don't think he tampered with them.
Hey,
He
it's a
didn't-
free drink.
He didn't seem the type, and I take another sip of the drink. I just think he's looking for someone. And he's lost someone, and he's a little bit sad. People can't usually lie to me when I'm reading their thoughts. They can try and concentrate on things that they don't want me to see, but I feel like, you know, I feel like he wouldn't have wanted me to see them fighting in the volcano.
I think it's probably that something bad has occurred. But what I'm trying to make sense of is why the volcano?
Roll a history check. Sköld.
Yes.
All right. With a 14. The reason Asoa was so prevalent on Kharissgard specifically was because of the volcano.
Yeah.
And it was long thought, but never proven, that she had a lair here.
See. Well, there is one legend around Asoa, and the whole fact that one of the reasons why the volcano exists is that it would be the lair of Yasoa, but merely legends and fable. Just like, most
Wait,
things.
isn't there usually lots of gold in a dragon lair? Don't they hoard stuff?
Well, if you live as long as a dragon, I would assume you do accumulate a lot of stuff.
I look down at myself. How long do dragons live?
Thousands of years, I would have thought.
Oh, okay. I mean, that whatever I saw in his head could have been a dragon lair. Maybe they were trying to find it. Maybe they did find it. I did pull out once they found it, and they were all looking at each other and were smiling, but I didn't want to strain him anymore, and it was also kind of exhausting being in his head. There was a lot of emotions and a lot of flashes and fighting and a lot of memories, but it must be something that's very, very, very either recent on his mind or just something that's very important to him.
So when the dragon died, it went into the volcano, yes, and died. Was that...
Yes.
Ah.
No, well, it going into the volcano wasn't the cause of its death, but it was the fighting beforehand. And, well, we just assumed that, well, from legend anyway, that was his final resting place, and hence why the volcano became so active.
Yeah, there was a great dwarven hero that managed to fly up to her as she was dying and pull out her heart, leading to her eventual demise.
But, and I lean in and I lower my voice so seriously no one can listen to us. But it wasn't her heart, was it? It was the beanbag. So, what if she really is dead?
She may not be dead.
Hmm.
Maybe it's all a false story, and I don't know. Can dragons do magic? Could have like convinced someone that they took her heart, but it wasn't her heart, and she's alive somewhere.
I mean, I was a
If he's
dragon
not-
yesterday, today, this morning. I felt very charismatic, and I think I had some magic.
Yes, I'm not sure of the exact, capabilities of dragons, what sort of magic they have at the disposal. The usual fire breathing, everything like that.
I'd
But
assume it'd be
perhaps there
ancient
is more.
magic.
Hmm.
Stuff we only hear about.
As I said, if you live for thousands of years, I'm sure you accumulate more than just treasure, knowledge as well.
How old? I know halflings live longer than humans in general. How old did the halfling look?
Not very old.
So
Barely
it's not
barely
it's gonna,
into adulthood, you know.
No.
so it's probably not like that. Memory is probably could even be quite fresh. They might have found the hoard quite fast. I mean, how does your mind reading work? Does it think the most thing on their mind, or is it the most recent thing of any note? Or so I'm wondering if they just happened to, like, maybe someone dealt with the dragon ages ago and no one ever found the hoard, and they just recently found it.
Seemed a bit weird for it to go undiscovered for so long, considering the legends around it, but then again, it's somewhat sacred in some circles.
Unless it's a different dragon.
Could be something more occurring than we first thought.
Or if this one is really alive and then it wasn't there, but they stumbled across this older dragon's lair after, and then a new lair maybe, I don't know.
Well,
We need to,
it's all
it's curious.
it's all a bit blurry and hearsay at the moment. I think can't really take it with much validity. People's memories, they often, phase in and out of what really happened.
Talking about blurry, 2 of these drinks is probably good enough for me. I won't touch the one that got bought, I don't think.
All right.
Should we get a room?
Yeah.
So we're going to share a room again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Got
like a
used to
4
that.
bed.
I promise I won't set anyone on fire.
A bold assumption, but okay.
Oh, I thought this whole place is made of wood.
Yeah, I know, right? How
Not
how
good position.
disappointing would it be that you destroyed like one of the pride and glories of the whole bloody city?
I mean, the whole city would probably catch fire if that happened.
Well, you go over to the bar, and the barman sort of turns away from some of the patrons that have come back for their next drinks, looks at you and says, "Ah, what could I get for you?"
Yeah, we would like to stay for the night. Do you have a room with 4 beds?
Well, we have one with 2 beds, but it is our last last room remaining for the day.
I think that Aqua should find a resting place somewhere. Should be all right. Yeah, we can take it. We'll make our own revisions.
All right. Sounds good. It will be 3 silver for the night.
Okay. That seems reasonable. Like I know any different. And 3 silver. Usually it's Vic that does all the financials.
He is the expert negotiator, it's true.
You should have deal gone through earlier. Oh,
Vic would have paid 3 platinum.
he would not. He would not. He'd have stepped outside.
Had a bit of a stomp and a scream.
Mm-hmm.
No, I will not keep paying these big prices. Okay. Well, he sort of tells you which room is free upstairs and hands you a key. And come on, Chrome, you can do it. I believe in you.
No, it's the thingy. I can't move either.
Oh, I can't do anything. My Chrome is crashing. There we go. It's back. And then he points you upstairs. Yes, these stairs. They're the ones I've set up. And it should eventually, once it works. Once it works. There we go. Typically Aqua's slacking, but that's all good.
Yeah.
Is it actually working?
No.
No.
Doesn't appear.
I'm stuck.
Okay. Well, I'll send you over to the map and just bring in new people then.
Oh yeah, it's doing it. No, unless that was you.
It was me. It is the room ahead of you. So the one in front of Aqua.
There we go. Blimey, zoomed out again. Ah, yeah,
There
I
are
see it.
2 beds in here. Do you mean a 2-person bed?
Take the bed, Aqua, and I pet the bed next to me.
Oh.
You're the smallest of them. The
I
least
can't
wide, at
argue
least.
with that. I would have been happy with the chair, but
I'll bed roll on the floor. I'd rather lie down. Good for the posture if you lay down, you know.
Yeah, I think I'll bedroll as well, but in this little area because it's got a little bit of privacy. And I moved. What's happened?
We got teleported out, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There's 2 of me. Dun dun dun! Imposters!
finally. I'll hands
walk
myself.
in. Who are these clones? Why am I the only real one here? You're all decoys.
Throwing a decoy.
She was on top of herself.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Door open inwards or outwards? Okay.
You're still paranoid.
Always.
I mean,
Put the other chair in front of the door for the night. Just so we can hear it knock if someone tries to get in.
shall we take watches anyway? I can write in my book. I haven't written in my book in a while.
I don't know why we'd need a watch as such,
Nah,
but
I don't think we need to. We're in a new place. I don't think anyone's followed us across the sea.
unless you really annoyed that halfling earlier.
No,
Maybe
I don't think I
finds
did.
friends and comes back for us.
I don't think I did.
No, I'll just put down. I'll wedge the chair against the door. We got a couple of windows there. They're all closed up, yeah. I'm guessing they're windows anyway.
There is a window, 2 windows out the back here.
Okay, and they're closed up.
They're closed
Locked.
up. They've got shutters over them. So it'd be very difficult to break in.
Okay. I mean, Nell is going to spend the first 2 hours anyway, writing in her book, just, trying to retrieve any memories, just writing down what has happened in the last day or so, writing about being a dragon. So she's not actively watching, but she's listening out while she's writing, whether there's any footsteps outside and stuff like that.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw, then go.
You pick up your book and you start writing in it. Time goes on. You all settle down. There's a clock tower in the town, which is a novelty. It's a Dwarven thing. And as the chime... Sköld, you're used to these kinds of things. The rest of you less so. The clock ticks over to midnight. And Nell, Aqua and Sköld, you're the three that drank the drinks, aren't you?
Yeah.
I need you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
No! I trusted him!
You told me to something dodgy with him.
Not in that way.
Oh, that's how I took it.
All right.
Mr. Beck.
Ooh. So, Nell.
Mm-hmm.
You take 27 points of poison damage
Jeez.
as you drift off to sleep and you feel your throat start constricting, and in your stomach there's a sort of nasty gurgling feeling, and you feel burning, and it wakes you up immediately as you're unable to breathe. You are now poisoned.
Great.
27 hit points down.
Mm-hmm.
For now, nothing else seems to happen.
How do I add that I'm poisoned? Can I add that?
Additions probably under there.
Yes. I found one. I don't know if it actually gives you poisoned condition,
What
but
does it do when I'm poisoned? Just so I know.
disadvantage on everything.
Do you make a noise when you wake up?
I would have choked, and I would have probably reached out for Aqua and hit his chest.
Oh, Aqua and Sköld, you take half of that, so you take 13 points of poison damage each.
Oh.
Jeez.
You both wake up unable to breathe, but you're not poisoned. It's like Nell starts pounding on Aqua's chest as Aqua is also suddenly not able to breathe. So you're both like on the bed, kind of gasping for air. Sköld, around the corner, you're suddenly like your throat is also constricted, and you're just kind of like getting barely a breath every time you breathe. Vic, you're just kind of flat on the floor, comfortable, sleeping happily.
So I don't wake up to their commotion though.
I mean, how aware to these kinds of things are you?
I'd say I was pretty. Because if I do, I'd just jump up, think we're getting attacked. I'd be in my pants because my arm was on the floor, and I'd just have to pull my sword out.
Okay.
Excuse me.
It's been about what's going on.
So now you can see that your friends are currently choking on their respective beds and floor.
Frothing from the mouth probably. And
Basically, yeah.
Nell would be holding her throat, would be like, the drinks, the drinks.
Let me have told you.
How can I do that from you now?
like, well, it's all your own fault.
Well, you look alright now.
She does. She doesn't. Nell is looking very worse for wear.
Well,
Aqua and Sköld have a solid Actually, both of you roll. Oh no, actually, hang on.
God.
That's. I think you're both fine. Yeah. So there's a solid few minutes of Aqua and Sköld unable to breathe, but after about 3 or 4 minutes, like the breathlessness and the constriction eases off, and they're able to catch a breath again. And they kind of recover. Nell is still, once the throat constriction wears off, and the frothing kind of gets worse, and then she just starts to throw up everywhere,
Not again.
all over Aqua. So yeah,
Oh.
Okay.
that's what you see.
And
I
I
suppose-
would have assumed I just pass out after a while. Just, being poisoned and then falling asleep / passing out.
Wait, what's your constitution score? 14.
14, yeah.
Yeah, you're okay. You managed to just about start catching your breath before you pass out and suffocate. But then that's when the vomit starts, and just it's not a nice night. It's not a
Would
nice
we-
night at all.
Still get our long rest, or has it been interrupted?
It's been interrupted, but a few extra hours of rest could potentially continue it. Nell, you're not quite so sure about. She's a whole different kettle of fish right now. And with that, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Feel free to go and grab a drink, guys. I'm gonna be right back.
yeah, I'm gonna get a drink. Be right back.
Alright. Burb.
Okay, I'm gonna make myself some water. I'll be right back.
Okay, I guess we're all good. Hello.
Well, making my character not want to get too drunk in general. It's worked out alright.
Yeah, it's the only thing that saved you.
I'm back.
Hello.
Like, I don't think I've had one bit of fire whiskey. I think I've always been a bit limited on what I've drunk.
So you're saying you're boring?
Oh, you're equating alcohol with being cool?
Totally.
No, it just means hijinks for me. That's all. That's all.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like to be, I think I like my character to be alert, and I can't if I'm under the influence, I guess.
Suppose so. Is Robb back?
No.
He's dead.
I gathered that by the silence after the question.
I am back.
Ah, there we go.
Nah, he's not. That's a figment of our imagination.
Who?
It's an impostor.
The mimic.
Mick.
All right. So now that you're back, Nell is groaning wildly, throwing up consistently. Sköld and Aqua have recovered, but are still, shaken. Yeah. What are you doing?
Right. Suppose so no long rest.
Well, no, you can have a long rest. You just have
Okay.
to,
You just need to sleep for like half a day longer or something.
I think
How am I feeling when I wake up?
Unwell. Like, undeniably unwell.
Am I still poisoned?
No. A long rest
Cool.
gets rid of the effect.
Both, like, of everything. I get also my stuff back. It was just a temporary.
Yeah, it was just a
Okay.
temporary effect.
How about the smell?
I mean, it's a small room that has been, vomited in consistently all night. It's not good.
Oh, God.
I would have, once I woke up, I would have prestidigitation to everything to clean it up again and make it smell like roses and clean linen.
All right.
Is prestidigitation only a temporary thing?
No,
Okay, good. Just relieve, and then it just turns back to being vomit everywhere.
Surprise vomit.
okay, memo to myself. Don't take drinks from strangers.
I mean, it's a life lesson
Ones
you have to
you've
learn
already
eventually.
I've drank worse from strangers.
Things I don't know. I don't want to know about.
Yes,
Mhm.
suppose you better have a check around everybody just to make sure that we are all okay and that we're fully recovered and that
But I
hasn't.
don't understand why he would do that. He didn't seem like an evil person. I apologize for reading his mind. No, I didn't mean it, but and just.
I didn't mean to read his mind. That I said I wanted to read
No,
his mind.
I didn't
from.
mean to. I didn't mean my apology. That's what I meant.
Oh right, I see.
Yeah. Well,
Because I was 100% lying that I can't control it. I can control it right now.
Oh yeah.
So.
And with a 6 deception, he probably picked up on this, and
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's
There was
hiding more.
There was still something about him, though. He was looking for friends. He didn't seem dangerous, although I suppose if you're waiting in a saloon and some strange people approach you and a strange lady reads your mind, it's not really trustworthy. Okay. But I wouldn't just poison someone immediately. Well, maybe I would.
He's probably in a dangerous line to work. It
think
requires getting rid of people like us.
I think he's an adventurer like us. At least that's what it felt like. I think they were on a mission into the volcano. They found the. I look around, although I know we're in our room. The lair of the beanbag, and it's just, I don't know. It's there's something about him that is very interesting and very important.
I mean, he had a limp. And
I didn't notice it.
Well, he was favouring his right-hand side, and he was an adventurer like you.
No,
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, that's gone over Yathina's head completely because she doesn't know games. But
I was so confused. What?
Oh.
it's okay, Yathina. Don't worry.
Someone explain it to me.
It's all right. Don't worry.
Hey, we should.
The temptation.
I think just for the fact he poisoned us, we should return the favour and beat him up.
Well, let's
Sköld, yes.
let's look at this objectively before we start beating up random people. I mean, I know he's dressed as a traffic cone, so it's hard to mistake him for anybody else. But perhaps, yeah, we can use this as a lead of some sort. He was
Can
looking
we-
for something.
Isn't it so? If we beat someone up, we get in trouble. But can't we tell the authorities that he tried to poison us?
Well, it's your word versus theirs, and they've got evidence that you've beaten them up, and not much evidence.
No, we're not going to beat him up. That's not.
Well, I'm saying if there's not much evidence that he poisoned us, and we're now fully recovered, and yeah, it's our word versus
Yes,
his.
but wouldn't they take your word more because you're a dwarf and he's
Exactly.
Depends
Sköld,
who
are
he
you
is.
from a noble family?
not? Yeah, we have home advantage.
Sköld, are you from a noble family?
No
Shit.
one. No.
Okay.
Why do we even spend time with you then? God.
What was the name of the clan that I talked about, that I heard people not talk to me, but overheard people yesterday?
There's Grimhammer. Please hold. There's Ironwrath, and then there's Goldenfinger.
Sköld.
Golden finger.
Sköld, who are the Grimhammers?
The Grimhammers are the current, we would say, most powerful clan within the Dwarven kingdom, and they have a fair amount of power, we'll say.
Some people yesterday, actually yesterday, I overheard them talking about them and saying that this might be the end of them, and they might, get overruled soon.
Yeah, so the other two clans that are, somewhat always in disagreement with each other. Not so much the Ironfinger clan; they tend to keep to themselves. Wherever the money is flowing, they're happy. But the Ironwrath and I've just forgotten the name of the other one.
Grimhammer.
Grimhammer, thank you. Clans have been battling for supremacy for years, and with the Grimhammer being victorious in that regard.
And who do you favor? Who are you aligned with, if anyone?
I am part of Clan Ironwrath.
So you are.
Well, every family within the Dwarven kingdom is part of a clan one way or another,
Okay.
but does not mean we're nobility.
Okay, but you are part of the clan that is not the ruling class right now, but sort of seek to be the ruling class.
Yes.
Okay. Can that help us out in any way? Is that a territory that is favored of your clan rather than the Grimhammers or the Goldfingers?
Territory-wise,
A bit.
they all tend to have families and organizations within every town and city. When it comes to villages and hamlets and like smaller establishments, it could basically be something set up by one of the families and one of the clans. But when you're talking cities, every city will have representatives from each clan, and the towns will have at least two. representatives, one from each, like from one from another, you know. They try to make sure that they have as much control as they can. And when it comes to things like especially Ironwrath and Grimhammer, they, you know, will exert power where they can, try and gain as much influence as possible.
Okay.
Goldenfinger tend to pretty much every port has some Goldenfinger guilds in there, and there are quite a few towns that are probably more profitable. They've got quite a few mines, for example. But, you know, like in Linhoth, where you are now, all three have representatives somewhere around.
Okay. Well, let's have breakfast. I'm starving.
All right. Well, you have regurgitated most of the last day's meal.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Oh no. Did you want me to come downstairs?
I'm gonna go
No.
up to the bar.
Oh, Aqua's sleeping, apparently.
Apparently.
There we
Woo.
go. You're going to the bar. Okay. It's a different bar person now. It's a lady, potentially the wife of the barman that was up last night. Bit more lithe than her husband. Bit more well kept. Actually has a smile on her face. Good morning.
Morning. I was wondering. You weren't here last night, but I was talking to a halfling with an orange cloak and purple hair. I was wondering if you had seen him around more often before, or if that was the first time that he came in.
Oh, I've never seen a halfling before. Not here.
Okay, thank you.
That's all right.
And I step back unless Sköld order.
Okay. What does everybody want for breakfast?
Bread and cheese.
Amazing.
Bread.
We're not going to go through the same rigmarole we usually do when it comes to food orders. You order your food and it's a silver.
1 silver. Okay.
Yes.
I can deal with that.
Surprise meal.
And it comes out and it's actually quite tasty.
You sound surprised.
Well, you know, when you pay 1 silver for a meal, you never know what you're going to get, but you know, the favoritism is real right now, and you know, you get a quality good meal. It's, you know, the usual breakfast goods. And yeah, the tavern is emptier than last night. You know, the patrons have moved on or just passed out, basically. This person is no longer there, but the dwarf by the bar is semi-sleeping, sort of dozing in and out of sleep.
Okay, what's the plan?
Okay, well, should we have an ask around the local shops and see if anybody knows? Wow, it's difficult, isn't it? Where do we go? I don't want to just like start questioning random people because
we would gather attention.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe see if we can find the direction that traffic cone went
Yeah.
and head
Yeah,
follow him.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
If he was part of an adventure party like we are, I mean, we go on quests, missions, that kind of thing. What if his friends were involved somehow?
That's why I'm contemplating whether he is.
Especially after the
Innocent.
stunt he pulled.
I mean, they definitely. He has lost them though. That's the issue. He doesn't know where they are.
Maybe he's
And-
the good one, in a way, and he wasn't up for doing what they had to do or the job they were doing.
I don't know if they're dead, or whether he has lost them, and he was here waiting for them. I don't know.
I mean, you did hear screams when you.
I know, and then I stopped. Then I stopped
Yeah.
looking. No, that's not true. I heard screams, and then I saw the pile, and then I saw people standing around the pile and smiling, and then I pulled out.
Yeah.
I think we try to find them.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
a non-aggressive way.
Yes. I have magic that is non-aggressive to take revenge on him.
Words are also can be non-aggressive.
So how do we find him?
You didn't see where he went last night. You saw him leave the saloon, but not where he went from there.
You can ask around. Well, Sköld, you can ask around.
Maybe you ask
Okay.
again for the halfling.
All right. It's, I think that might be a bit of a.
Do you think their
About the
discrimination
Balrog.
runs that deep?
Yes.
Even like just asking a question doesn't get a straight answer.
There's the man at the bar who was here last night. Why don't we try him instead?
True, he does seem to have stayed. Okay, yeah. I approached the man at the bar and just say, hello, would you by any chance know where that halfling went the other day? Quite a striking fellow. Yellow, orange clothes with a purple hair. We're currently looking for him as he may be involved in something.
Oh well, I do remember him. Yeah.
Okay.
Kept himself to himself, and then you came along and he slipped away.
That's the one.
Yeah. He came here last night too, or the night before last, I guess. Never seen him before that though.
Haven't seen him around town.
No, that's not true. I'm telling fibs. I saw him with a group 2 weeks ago.
What? That recent?
Then he disappeared. And then he came back. Yesterday. No, day before yesterday. Yeah. And then
Okay.
he came back today. No, yesterday. Yeah. But nothing other than that, no.
I see. Well, thank you for the additional information. That does help. We just need to try and find him now.
I did see him.
We'll have a look.
No, that was last night. Was it today? I don't remember. I haven't slept much.
Sköld hears in his head, so I have approached just to overhear the conversation.
That's a weird
Sköld
thing to hear in your head.
Monologuing.
Hears in his head. Ask him if there's another place to stay where he could stay.
Is there anywhere else around here that they could be staying at?
I don't know. I only really stay here.
Figured as much. Okay, well, thank you for, providing us with that little bit of information. We might
That's
be able
okay.
to ask around to see if they've seen a group. It's more noticeable then.
Well, no one was talking about it last night. It was quite a big thing the other day. Like
Oh, really?
a couple of weeks ago when they were here, because big groups like that, when they're not dwarves, you know,
Very true.
it makes a bit of a splash. But then he just returned by himself.
Yes. Very odd.
I didn't hear where they were going.
Yeah, they seem to keep to themselves. Well, from him alone and his own, he just seemed to be very.
It's very
Withdrawn.
strange. Maybe. No. Maybe. No. Maybe he killed them. No. Maybe. No.
Wow.
Maybe.
Ask him.
Yeah.
A Sköld hears in his head. Ask him.
To find.
Sköld hears in his head. Ask him about the rumors about the heart. What does he know about it?
Like I'm the middleman here. Yeah. On another note, what's your opinion on these rumors of the heart being stolen?
Well, I think that either someone took it or someone heard that it got stolen, but actually it didn't. So maybe
Probably.
it's still there and people are just spreading rumors. Maybe.
Caused stabilization, maybe.
Oh,
Interesting.
maybe. Some people were saying that too, but I don't think so.
Looks like we're. No one knows really for certain.
What have you heard? Do you know anything?
Well, I know that it's been stolen, but that's about it.
How do you know that?
Well, I'm from Kharissgard.
So am I.
Word travels fast.
Rumour travels fast.
Indeed. Especially of something of this significance. But it seems like no one knows exactly the details.
Well, no, because we're not allowed in the palace. Have you ever been to the
Very true.
palace?
Not personally, no.
Well, how can we know then?
I would have thought that one of the clans would have at least tried to provide some more clarity, unless they are both saying opposite things as they usually do.
Well, Goldenfinger isn't really interested. Ironwrath are making a big deal out of it, as they would, you know. Grimhammer are keeping silent. It's all a bit strange.
Very. Okay. And have you seen anybody else that looks outside the ordinary, shall we say, pass through these parts apart from that group?
Well, that blue guy over there, he's pretty strange.
Yeah, we know about him.
Where's he from?
You know what? I don't think I've ever asked. Aqua, come over here.
Okay.
Our friend here is curious about you. Perhaps you can give him a bit of information.
Hello, Aqua.
Hello.
Where are you from?
You know, I don't actually have that written down anywhere. I realised that earlier when. Just from the sea, mate.
Just from the sea.
Yeah.
Oh,
Drank too much water, it's why my skin's like this.
I see. Well, that's okay because I drink ale. I won't get like that. I'll make sure to
Yeah,
I'll make sure to let everyone know that they shouldn't drink water because they'll go blue.
Yes, please spread that message.
Right. Water's
Questionable
bad. Stay away
advice
from
going on.
water. Ale is better. Because you don't
All
get
right.
blue.
I have a feeling we may be diverging here from whatever our original conversation was.
And you were asking
have a
about
nice-
you were asking about the heart, and I said it probably hasn't been stolen. Then you said it
Hmm.
probably has been stolen, even though you haven't been here before, or at least for a while. And I have. And yet you seemed so sure.
Well,
I don't
it
know.
would seem to make sense considering all the hustle and bustle that's going on regarding it. But I could be wrong. You pose a good point about.
It is rather
potential
hustly and
light.
bustly. It's true.
Why would
Anyway,
someone
I,
make up a rumor
go
that
to
it's
step-
stolen?
Oh my.
What?
Your face is awfully burnt.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
What did you do to yourself?
Set my room on fire.
Okay, well I already knew fire was bad, but I'll make sure to spread that around as well. Don't set
It does
yourself.
mean this guy is the source of some of these rumors.
I see. Well, I'm quite tired. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Talk to you. All right, let's get going.
Yeah.
Got
Hey,
some
and I'm
good-
going to quickly root around in his pockets.
Jesus.
Make a sleight of hand check.
No! We're gonna get caught and then we're gonna get banished forever.
Yeah, this won't be good. Yeah.
As you reach your hand into his pocket to start rooting around, the bar lady comes over and slaps your hand and kicks you out.
Oh.
Get out of my pub! She screams in your
Sure.
face.
He had everything still there. I'm a friend. But okay, goodbye.
Aqua, what are you doing? Are you causing issues?
Who closed the
Nah,
door in
she's
his
being-
face?
I did myself, apparently.
Right, well, now we know that there's been a group around, a group of adventurers potentially, that may be involved in what we're looking for. And
2
people
weeks
were.
is
2
very
weeks.
recent.
Exactly.
Mm.
So people are
The
still
things
going to
that I
remember.
saw. No. Listen to me, guys. The things that I saw in that guy's head, they might as well fought a dragon.
The last few weeks. It could have been a week
From
ago. I mean,
that means it's already... The heart has already hatched, aka...
Well, everyone is correct, and Soa isn't actually dead. Just hiding.
Hmm.
I mean, there could be several different types of dragons around.
I'm not fighting a dragon.
I mean,
I've been one. I know how strong they are.
we barely survived a turtle, let alone a dragon.
Yeah.
Now, there's no guarantee that that's the case.
I mean,
I
we
mean-
could go and have a look. If we do come across a dragon, we can try and talk a way out of it.
Are you insane?
I mean, it's better than immediately trying to fight one.
I don't know what kind of dragon it is.
A red one?
Did you see a dragon in this vision?
No.
Is
No, but it makes sense.
I don't know, there's a lot of potential things that could, be very similar in terms of what you saw. Could have been just
Good morrow.
Mara.
What? Hi? What? Where are you?
Hey,
couldn't
I
help
remember you
But
from the market.
notice. Indeed. I couldn't help but notice you all talking quite loudly about dragon.
Yes, that's another thing.
Quite
Yeah,
quite an unthoughtful thing to be doing in such a public place. Don't you think?
well, It's obviously just mere brainstorming. Nothing.
Brainstorming?
Yeah, it's just saying what we're thinking out loud. Nothing.
I'm aware of the term. I'm just wondering why you're doing it here.
Wow.
We're trying to come up with a game where adventurers fight dragons. We feel it might be good for the kids.
Interesting. But to do it here...
Yes, we might be a bit excited about our process.
Inadvisable is the word I'd use. You arrived yesterday, yes? On a 1-month lease of land and title and days?
Someone's done his research.
You've looked into us.
Well, you have an interesting look about you.
Is that about my skin?
I
No,
don't
no.
think you introduced
Did you know
yourself.
that he paints himself blue? Every morning.
That seems like an awfully inconvenient thing to do.
It costs a lot of money for the paint.
I can imagine. My name, if you are interested, is...
No, not really.
Very well.
We are.
Okay, well, my name is Bamira Goldforge.
Not
You
writing
need
that
that
down.
spelled.
Fuck that.
Pleasure to meet you.
Bamira Goldforge.
Indeed. I'm glad at least one of you listens out of your group. I was wondering why you are here for a month, what your purpose is. I'm idle curiosity, you see.
Just visiting our friend here. And I point to Sköld.
But he joined with you.
Yeah, we're visiting his homeland. He wants to introduce us to his family.
Yes.
Make a deception check. Oh, I know what I can do.
Hidden
So-
roles, is it?
What? Rolls? Nah, never.
Ooh. Can observers see it though? So I'm curious.
Nope.
Ooh.
Are you spying on the stream, Furious? Wow.
It's
God. I know,
Interesting,
being-
interesting. You don't look like the type that's from around here, and you're all wearing very expensive equipment.
You got an eye for the magical, have you?
Well, I dabble.
What is your business here?
Yes.
Oh, well, let's put this. I own the exchange. I'm the person you go to if you want things delivered or sent somewhere or purchased for you.
Have you done any business with an extravagant clothed halfling?
You know, I think I might have. Returned recently from an adventure. Left a few
Where
weeks
from?
ago with their party.
Did you sell him some poison?
No, but they came through yesterday. Well, he came through yesterday looking to sell off some items that he's recently procured. Very
What
unusual.
What sort of items?
That would break eternally client privilege.
Did you
Detect
have you done the
thoughts.
business yet though?
There you go, sorry.
Detect thoughts
Not
only
you,
so
other one. What did
Have
Vic
you
say?
done the business already though?
Oh, well. There's an authentication period, you see, where I have to determine whether the things he had were procured legitimately. Surface thoughts.
Yeah, no, only surface thoughts. I'm not praying deeper.
Difficult to determine. And by difficult to determine, I mean nothing.
Why is everyone having my equipment? Damn it!
Do you know where our friend is staying? The halfling.
You know, he didn't mention it, which made me a bit suspicious, I won't lie.
I thought you would have had to mention it for the whole vetting process.
Well, exactly, and that's what made me suspicious, and that's what made me doubly curious about the whereabouts of his procurement of such things.
And I'm going to assume you looked into it.
I have, and he doesn't even appear to have a license to be on the island, which is quite scandalous, really.
So you shouldn't be doing business with him, I'd imagine, or...
Oh, well, of course. As I'm sure you'll understand, I cut ties the moment I found out. I have no interest in anything he has to offer.
Inside check.
Yeah.
Roll an insight check. What are you trying to insight?
Him saying that he doesn't have any interest in what he has to offer, and then on a broader term, is he like interested in sort of illegal dealings?
Okay, before you roll anything, how would you intuit these kinds of things?
How would I what?
Intuit these kinds of things.
What does that mean?
How would you work this out with an insight check?
Well, trying to determine whether he's lying and is actually more interested in the things that the halfling is dealing with, and is just trying to deceive us in a way to say, well, I would never deal with someone who's selling things that I don't know what they're doing. But it's Nell doesn't believe him. Nell is like, oh, well, you have more shady shit behind your ears than anyone else that we've met so far.
Okay. Well, lying, you can't tell. There's no indication through insight whether he's lying or not. He doesn't seem to have any inflection to his tone of voice that would give away any intent one way or the other. His whole demeanor is somewhat shifty, which is why you obviously don't trust him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no it's hard to tell either way, really.
Okay.
He just seems like an all-round shady person, you know.
Okay.
So when are you due to complete your business with, or return the items to him? You know?
No, he's still got them. I appraised them and then made some inquiries.
What did he try to sell you?
Well, we've already been over this. That would break client privilege. Well, client privilege. I'm not an attorney.
It's not your client anymore, though.
Yeah, exactly. He's not your client anymore. And if he is doing illegal things, then you definitely should report it.
Who's to say I haven't already reported him to the authorities?
You wouldn't tell us if you had.
I wouldn't tell you if I had. I was just wondering, out of idle curiosity, what you were doing here. It seems awfully unusual for two different adventuring parties to arrive on the island within 2 weeks of each other, seemingly at random.
It says we're an adventuring party. I told you we're just traveling to see our friend's family.
Indeed. And I'm also a greengrocer.
Inside, not in joking.
Well, lies are easy to say. Whether they're believable or not is another thing entirely. Tell me. Again. What business do you have here?
We are adventurers, as you say.
That
But
was
we're just
obvious.
looking to see what jobs there are around. As in the mainland, well, jobs are drying up a bit.
Fascinating. Very well. Well, if you need any equipment or items procured for you, you know where I am.
Do we?
Thank you.
Aqua does, at least.
Yes, he
Aqua's
is by the
paying
market.
attention. You were too busy getting scammed for fruit.
Well, actually, before you go, I mean, this our friend, the halfling friend, and he had other people with him. Where did they go?
You know, I was quite interested in this myself, and I did. I must confess that I wasn't entirely honest with him. I did have him followed. Because, you know, being a bit suspicious and all that. And it's the funniest thing. He went round to the eastern side of the island, and then my scouts lost him. And that's unusual because I pay well and I get very good scouts for the job, and it's an unusual thing to lose someone when you've got the best scouts in the realm.
Do you think they've been paid off?
Oh, I would hope not. That would mean I might have a competitor, and we can't have that, can we?
What's a possibility?
And he was with 2 humans and a dwarf and someone else, correct?
Oh, if I remember correctly, yes. I'm pretty sure there was a halfling in there, and a gnome, a human or 2, and a dwarf, yes.
Did you recognize the dwarf by any chance? Was the dwarf native to this island?
I don't think so, no, he didn't have the look. He looked a bit barbarian-esque, you know? Sköld, you know that to be a kind of a jibe against non-Kharissgardian dwarves.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not...
What about the humans? Sorry.
I don't know. I didn't actually get where they were from. They weren't forthcoming with information. But they definitely weren't local to the island. Put it that way.
The islands, not even the southern or the western islands. Interesting.
I know.
People come hardly from outside of the islands to the islands.
Well, normally just traders, but not people who are here for anything else. Normally, no.
Interesting.
When they originally arrived, they come through the docks because you said this halfling doesn't have the papers to be here. Did they have a short? They pay for a short visit and it's run out now?
I'm not sure. This is what I'm trying to investigate. I'm trying to work out whether through trickery they arrived, through forgery, or whether they snuck onto the island without anyone noticing, which I hardly doubt. We have some very good security.
And very good trackers, apparently.
And very good trackers, indeed. They did return my scouts, which I was grateful for. I won't be hiring them again, though, not since they lost such an important package.
So at the have you checked? Have you asked at the customs and seen if they?
I've done my inquiries. That if they did arrive, they didn't arrive in Lindhof. They arrived elsewhere.
Right.
Where that elsewhere happens to be is currently a mystery. However.
Okay.
What are your intentions?
Well,
Revenge.
as you mentioned.
Revenge. Lovely.
Yeah, he poisoned us with free drinks.
Oh. Can't hold your liquor, eh?
Just gonna
Can I-
ignore that.
Can I see his hands?
He's kind of got them behind his back. Not in a. It's more of a sort of genial, high, like highborn stance. It's not like he's hiding them in at all. He's just kind of holding them behind his back. It's almost like a natural thing, basically.
You sell magic items.
I can procure them for you, yes.
Can we sell magic items to you?
Can indeed. I have the fairest prices in all the land.
Yeah, I'll let my dwarven friend sell them to you. I've noticed the fair prices here.
Oh, I do hope you don't misunderstand my kin. They're just not very trusting of foreigners. I, however, am not quite so biased.
I've been here a few years ago, and they were much nicer.
But perhaps they don't remember you. Or maybe you
Maybe.
came alone.
I did come alone, you're right.
Wow. Who knows? Anyway, do you feel free to pop in if there's anything you need? My doors are always open.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Well.
And he heads
Bye,
back the way he
Mr.
came.
Goldforge.
Goodbye.
Should we head to the eastern side of the island and see if we can track down this friend of ours?
No. I believe he was talking previously, right? Not now.
That
Well-
seems a bit too direct.
I feel like that would be a fucking long way to walk in just one night. I think you meant the adventuring party had the adventuring party tracked to the eastern side of the island.
Mm-hmm.
But if they disappeared and you say they were fighting inside a volcano, maybe there's a hidden entrance that takes you straight to it, or...
Yeah, maybe.
But that is a long way to go on just a hunch for one secret entrance we may not even find.
I mean, the eastern side of the island is where the volcano is, correct, Sköld? So,
It's traveling both sides, but
Yeah,
it's mainly on the east.
The volcano is almost in the direct middle of the island.
Either
The
way-
mountain range splits it in half, basically.
either way, we're gonna make our way there eventually. But trust me when I say this. If we're fighting a beanbag, I do not want to rush it. We need to be...
Beanbag doesn't seem that hard.
We need to be properly prepared.
Swiftly moving on from that comment.
Also, we need to know exactly where we're heading. I mean, the volcano itself is huge in scope. We can't just go searching around hoping to find something. We'll be there for months.
We're here to investigate the little beanbag anyway. We're here to investigate who took it and who shipped it off. So, yeah, I want to look
Shouldn't get
around and
carried away.
see. I want to look around before we continue talking. I want to look around and see whether there's anyone watching us.
There is not. Something you notice immediately, and you'll have noticed previously when you left the saloon. Mornings seem to be quite a quiet time in Lindhof. Not much activity at all. Excuse me.
So, what do we do? Do we
Yes,
try
that's
and...
not. Well, I don't want to speak openly here about anything too sensitive, so
He
I think we've
says,
passed that shit.
after spending 20 minutes stood out in
Yeah.
the open, speaking openly about everything.
is there
should we-
what other establishments are around here? Around this road?
So that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button, I said, meaning to delete it, thank you. You can see there's a temple with a symbol above the door that you don't recognize. To the left of that seems to be potentially a schoolhouse, maybe? Something similar. And then it's mostly just shops, a few houses that you like aren't on the map, but you know would be behind the buildings, and then just more shops. It's a high street, basically.
I'm gonna send a message. It's a Hail Mary. I'm gonna send a message to what was his name again? Something R. Say it again.
Rukun, R-U-K-U-N.
Rukun. I'm gonna send a message to Rukun in hopes that he's maybe in one of the houses, hiding, watching us from the shadows in a 120 feet radius.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, you know, you don't poison drinks of friends. We just tried to help you.
Roll a persuasion check. There's a delay, and all you hear in response is a scoff. Vic, Aqua, and Sköld, you also hear a scoff.
Oh, is he invisible? Oh. What direction do we hear it from?
Yeah.
For you now, it's difficult to tell because you hear it in your head as well as like in the local area. Vic, Aqua, and Sköld, it sounds like it's coming from. It's like very faint. It's not like super audible, but it's coming from this direction. Like
what direction?
This direction.
I'm sending a message out again. Look, I understand you lost your friends, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know if they're dead or not. Can we talk just openly? No reading thoughts, nothing. You decide what you want to tell us. And maybe we can come to an understanding, and we can help each other.
This time the reply comes quicker. I already told you what I know. I ain't telling you anything else. Stay away from me. You're not having my things. Leave me alone.
Well, he doesn't want to talk to us. I suppose we're on our own. If there's a beanbag out there, we're not going to get it out of him. And I say that particularly loud.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Shall we go? Is that your temple, Sköld? Is that of your affliction? No, that's not the word.
Is that your affliction? Is that the thing you suffer from, Sköld?
I don't believe it is.
Do you suffer from that temple? The answer is yes. Yes, you do.
Oh.
Oh. Sorry, I suffer from that temple.
Yes, you suffer from that temple.
Okay.
Oh, shall we go in? Maybe you can tell us about. Maybe you can show us your god.
Okay then.
Oh God, I'm gonna.
I suppose there's no harm in doing it.
Okay,
Just
guys,
keep your hand.
if I burst into flames, if I step in there, do not get alarmed, okay?
If I immolate
And if you
myself,
were a
That would.
I am being actually serious, but we'll see. I haven't been
The
a
first
temple.
holy place we go into, you get mind controlled.
I haven't been
Yes,
into. Oh yeah, we have. I have been into a temple / a church, and I
Mhm.
didn't die.
You did get mind controlled though.
I did get. Well, But previous to that, I haven't been in a temple for 30 years, so who knows?
Vic,
Mm-hmm.
roll a perception check. Sorry.
Perception is lagging. I'm sure it'll turn up in a second.
Sending me dice by mail.
Wow,
I'll try again just in case.
this is going well.
Okay, well, ignore the second one then.
What second one? I haven't even had the first one.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah, you actually do. Are you actually still connected?
Oh no,
Um,
you're not connected on my screen anymore.
Oh. Well, I could roll stuff. I have to log in again, apparently.
Yeah, refresh. Just give it a refresh. It'll
Roll
be fine.
Physical dice.
Roll for me if you want while I log back in. It's up to you.
We'll wait. It's okay. This is important.
Oh, the dragon flies down.
And literally snaps you up in its mouth and tears you.
That
limb
was
from
7.
limb.
We all die against the dragon. Great.
No, I'm drinking my potion of aqua form and pissing off. Goodbye, everyone.
There we go.
I'll
You're back.
see you in hell.
Literally just
Literally.
Roll a perception check, then, please.
Wow, it's still downloading the world data.
God damn it! It says you're in.
I think it does that as soon as you connect, but it has to install everything.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, what you see over the top of the door is it's basically just a very simple symbol to a god that none of you know, apart from obviously Sköld. It's a sort of ornate, a simple enough stone carving with what looks like a hammer, kind of like a war hammer, and then an anvil, and the war hammer is kind of hammer side down on top of the anvil. 12. Okay.
What's the name of your god again, Sköld?
God of the Forge.
Okay.
Except this time it actually is a god and not a cult.
I mean,
Hopefully.
I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I lost my pole.
Nell and Aqua,
Yes.
Vic was a bit slow catching up to you.
Yes.
And as he walks over, you notice there's a slight lack of jingling that usually accompanies him walking places. And as you look over, it takes a moment. His sword is gone.
It's a proper sword.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mate, there's something missing from your bag.
And it wasn't me.
Neither was it me.
How the hell did you misplace that?
I don't know.
Did you equip it this morning before we left?
I always equip it. It's always on my back.
How did you not notice anyone taking this?
I don't know. I thought I'd have heard him swipe it past my ear, to be fair. Is the whole scabbard gone or just the sword?
Just a sword.
So someone's...
Well, just in case.
Here's a dagger.
Mage armor.
Oh, just in case, Paul's life. I forget that I have that. I keep forgetting that I have that.
Could you imagine if, like, Aqua is like, oh, you've had your sword stolen. Mage armor. 3, 2, 1. Fireball! Alright, you get 8 temporary hit points.
I also lost connection to the server.
Oh.
Well, if this halfling was invisible, that's the only way someone would have probably got close enough to do it.
The fact he's took the sword means he's either waiting around to do something else again, or we going to have to go find him. Because have you got anything else to fight with?
I've got a long sword still, but
Your sword was magical, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, we're not leaving that behind.
Well, it's also cost 2,000 gold. Yeah, so.
Oh god, we need to get that back. That's money.
But can you detect magic and
I can give it a go.
then we can
Okay.
wander around and hopefully see it
Do I
shining?
need a spell for that, or can I just do an arcane check of the area?
Sköld. Roll a perception
Yes.
check while everyone else is talking about this. All right. While everyone's talking about Vic's sword that's gone missing, you feel you stood there for a minute, maybe at most. And as Aqua is talking about, he's cast his spell. He's started to glow slightly, and then you notice that your waist is slightly lighter.
Oh dear.
Where did the bag of holding go, Sköld?
Bag of holding.
Not you two. Everyone back against the walls, I guess. And then sort of run over and put my back against the wall. And I'm like, watch out, he could be anywhere.
So there's someone going around.
Well, it's the fucking halfling, isn't it? I'm going to murder that kid if we see him.
Give him a
Wow.
message. Tell him to ask him what he wants.
I'm messaging him. Stop it. What do you want?
None of your business.
Stop taking our stuff.
Tell him we want our stuff back.
Make me.
All right.
Considering none of you said that, none of you had spoken for a little bit. That sound comes out, like that. The voice comes out like that.
Are we all hear that as well?
That didn't do a thing.
Did he just say make me?
That's what I heard.
Right. How doth this work? Hang on. Do that.
At that point, as I hear them words, I'm gonna activate my Tides of Chaos.
All right.
I'm going to
Roll
go
your
invisible
D100.
as well.
Roll your D100.
Did his shit. And blew us all up with fireball.
92. Oh, you're rolling so high.
I know, they've been pretty safe ones. All the bad things are lower numbers, I like it.
Oh, that one's so boring though. All right. Okay. Little bit. All right. As you activate your Tides of Chaos, you hear a kind of something whoosh, whoosh, whoosh in the distance, not too far away, but not right next to you. Okay, that's not working. Can I do this? And apparently it's not going to do a thing, but why are you no work? Never mind. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Aqua, what did you do?
Me, actually, this has nothing to do with me.
Aqua, what did you do?
Oh shit.
Oh dear.
So everyone who rolled under a 15
Everyone.
Everyone who rolled under a 15. Alright, okay. 2 seconds. Because one of the things that I tried to automate hasn't automated, which is kind of annoying. That's alright. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. This one.
You all failed, I think. Yeah.
You did all fail, yeah. You only needed to beat a 15 as well. Oh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You all take 24 points of fire damage. As at this point here, just in front of Vic, a mote of fire flies out from somewhere near the cemetery and lands just in front of you, and before you even have a chance to react, it just explodes, and all of you are on fire. All of you are you're resistant to fire, so you take half.
I have.
But you still take the damage.
Oh no, I can't stack my points, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Oh no, I can. They're gone.
Pew, 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 pew.
So I want to charge down wherever that came from.
Hang on.
You
I guess
can
you just-
do next week when we pick up
No.
pick everything up. And the last thing you see as the fireball is about to explode is the halfling that you saw last night reappear here. And we will pick up that next week.
You little bastard.
Mm-hmm.
And you
I'm
see,
not mad at it.
you have no idea what happened. You don't know anything. What? Nah, it's all good.
All I know is this happened yet again because now tried to read someone's mind.
Yep,
Listen to me.
it's all Nell's fault.
What- No. I tried to be nice. I tried to be reasonable.
Did you?
Yes.
You didn't even speak to him, did you, before you started to like mine?
No, but that's not the point. I tried to be like, hey, look.
Weren't that the same reasoning though with the Lord of Voldemort? You were trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You read his mind
I
and then
think-
tried to be nice.
Taking the meaning, it's the thought that counts to another level.
Fire to the church as well. Look at the church.
I know, that's
I know.
what I'm angry about.
Everything's here made of wood. This is the worst place to be for firefight.
This is literally
Never
like.
trust anyone else.
He has your sword.
Not for long.
We'll see about that. He also has the bag of holding, so thankfully the bag of holding is not burning up right now.
That's true.
So yeah, we'll see what happens next week. It's going to be interesting. I think you'll all be fine. Good job, guys. You didn't die yet. And that was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Good exploring the place.
Next week, next Saturday, no, Tuesday, not next Saturday, next Tuesday, everyone here.
You?
For episode 29. Pretty
Mhm.
exciting. Nearly 30 episodes, bloody hell. This episode will go up on YouTube on Thursday, so feel free to check that out. I'm sure we have a link somewhere to the YouTube. Tomorrow, I have set it already, so it's already there. Saturday's episode of Ancient Unknowns will be released at 6:30 GMT. So if you missed that, feel free to check it out. We'll be back on Saturday for the next episode of Ancient Unknowns, so you can catch up just in time, refresh your memory of all the pyramid shenanigans. And then we'll be back on Tuesday to see how this lot of adventurers deal with being set on fire by someone who isn't Nell. And yeah,
I say it happens quite frequently.
it does happen an awful lot, yeah.
We should
This is not
slowly
my
gain
fault.
immunity to fire.
I refuse. Oh, I haven't looked for it. I refuse to have this attributed to me.
Well, just because you refuse to accept something doesn't mean it's true.
No,
Or
no,
not
no.
true.
This is not my fault. I didn't do anything.
Okay. So, don't forget, check out Yathina's stream at twitch.tv/YathinaTV or whatever it is. I don't know. Yathina.
Just Yathina.
Just
like
Yathina.
the username.
I don't know why I went UTV. I think I was thinking ahead to Burius. Burius is twitch.tv/BuriousTV, I think. Burius TV? And then me. Don't forget to check me out sometimes. I stream occasionally. And yeah, Burius has a YouTube as well. I forgot to mention this on Saturday, but he has a YouTube. Go check that out. Same thing. He plays RimWorld on there. And then we'll see you all again on Saturday for more fun and shenanigans. That's my blanket.
Yeah, then.
See you all soon.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.